And Lovington Wildcat football on Z94 KZOR is also brought to you by our friends at Lee County Electric, and Hobbs Eagle football on Cool 95.7, also brought to you by the Lee County State Bank, Forrest Kyer Company, and TDS. I'm TJ Miracle in for Ty Friend this evening. Ron Gunter helping spot and helping on the camera for us tonight. Don Morgan patrols field side as we get ready to kick off the 2024 New Mexico high school football season. Welcome to the Blue Turf here at Brian Urlacher Field for the Battle of Lee County, as the first game of the season is here and it is ready as the team's preparing to come out, as we are having a moment of silence, I do believe. And it'll be the school songs. And Tiff, I understand I just disconnected, so I'll be reconnecting the phone back to Cool. So I apologize about that. It's we're getting all of the bugs out of the system right now. Say, and get that done. So when you hear the phone ring on the other side, you'll know that is kind of what is going on. So getting ready for this one, and hope you are having a great Friday night as we get ready to kick this one off. The Lovington Wildcats are the defending state champions in Class 4A, but moving up into 5A this year. Hobbs with a 500 season last year, getting into the playoffs. So looking to improve on that. School songs being played. A great crowd on hand, as you would expect, on a warm Friday night for football here in southeast New Mexico. Welcome back to your Stone Oilfield Services Wildcat pregame show and your Hobbs Eagle pregame show from high above Wildcat Stadium in the blue turf at Brian Urlacher Field. I'm TJ Miracle, the voice of the Wildcats, sitting in for Ty Friend tonight on Cool 95.7. Ron Gunter helping us with the camera and keeping an eye on the tech and stuff tonight. And Dawn Morgan patrols field side as the Lovington Wildcats break out of the Big Blue Cat and take the field for the first time in the 2024 season under first-year head coach Josh Bailey. You get to feeling a little old, Dawn Morgan, when you look back on Coach Bailey and realize I called the state championship game he played in back in 2010, and now he's the head coach. Oy.
The times, they are a-changing.
Yes, they certainly are. Of course, Coach Bailey takes over for Coach Gonzalez. We wish him the best of luck as he moves on into Texas. But, you know, talked to him on the phone a couple of days ago, and he's very excited about this squad. Lovington has a whole bunch of kids back, 33 returning lettermen from the 4A state champion team 1 year ago. They're going to be powered this year really by Dallas Cardane. It's going to be important for Dallas to stay healthy, but Alec Olguin is back, Patrick Sanchez is back, Kyler Reeves is back, Elijah Rivero is back on the front line. Going to be very important. Valente Herrera, Sawyer Bishop, Alex Rivera, Jaden Garcia. They've got some experience on the line, and they've got some experience offensively and defensively. Going to be very important tonight for the Cats, I think, to lean on that experience.
Yeah, and, you know, there's experience and there's leadership, and sometimes you get both. And it's one doesn't always mean the other. And these guys are definitely going to have to lean into not just the experience, but have some players, the captains of each, the offense, the defense, so forth, to special teams, to step up and really provide the leadership for this team and set the tone early on. I mean, there's a lot to be said for practicing and scrimmaging, but there's nothing like the real game, your first real game of a new season under a new quarterback as well.
Yeah, new quarterback is Matthew Prudencio, who did see some time last year at the quarterback position late in some ball games in that run to the state championship. He'll take over as the signal caller. Now on the opposite side of things, Hobbs Eagles under longtime head coach Ken Stevens, they come out and they've got a lot of returners back too. Brock Beatty, who saw a lot of time last year at the quarterback position, he takes back over, and he will have the start for tonight. O'Marion Kennedy, Seamus Wright, Isaiah Rodriguez all seeing significant time last year too, and I know that Coach Stevens also looking for a lot of production out of Javier Garcia, Justice French, and Braddock Beatty too on the offensive side of things, as well as Austin Chavarria. So both of these teams, come bring some experience back, and I'm not sure there's going to be anything you can throw a wrinkle in with these two teams that's really going to throw them off. I think it's going to come down in this one to who can start the fastest and who can finish the strongest. Last year, that was a barn burner at Watson Stadium. Lovington jumping out to a big lead. Hobbs coming back and coming up just a little bit short at the end as they prepare for the national anthem. We will take a timeout and come back with the kickoff as Wildcat and Eagle football continues in a moment. The hype is behind us, and a new season has arrived. Welcome to Friday Night Lights, New Mexico style. The Battle of Lee County kicks off the 2024 season as the visiting 6A Hobbs Eagles take on the defending 4A, now 5A, number 2 ranked Lovington Wildcats. Thanks for being with us tonight here on Z94, KZOR Hobbs, Lovington. Also KLEA, Cool 95.7, KLEA Hobbs. The Hobbs Sports YouTube channel, the Lovington Sports YouTube channel, HobbsAmerica.com. We're all over the place tonight. I will try not and get too confused. Tiff and Evie back at One Radio Square, engineering and producing. Dawn Morgan fieldside, Ron Gunter helping and running the tech and the camera tonight. I'm TJ Miracle. Hope you are ready for what should be a smackdown. And Dawn Morgan, as I look, Lovington getting a lot of respect, even in the 5A polls, moving up this year from 4A, and they are in the first poll of the year from Max Preps. They were the number 2 team in the state behind the defending 5A champion Artesia Bulldogs. An interesting note, there's 8 teams in Lovington's district now. 7 of them are in the top 8 in the state.
Wow.
And
it is tough.
oh, by the way, 3 of the last 4 teams in 5A the last 2 years are in this district. The only team that made it into the semis or the finals the last 2 years in 5A that's not in our district is Piedra Vista, and they got bumped up to 6A.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah,
it's one of those things.
Just tough. You know, another thing about being in a bigger district, you have fewer games to really you have fewer non-district games that you have to really rev up and get ready for districts. So it's a shorter pre-district season, and that means you've got to get your act together and your game together and get ready to not just start strong, finish strong, but be consistent in between.
Faith over fear is the Wildcats mantra this year. As the 2 teams hit the field, Lovington won the toss and they deferred. Wildcats in the home blues with the white letters and numbers, the white caps with blue in script. For the Hobbs Eagles, they are in the visiting whites with the black helmets and the Hobbs logo in gold on the side. Back deep to receive for the Hobbs Eagles, it'll be Austin Chavarria. He is the deep man, as preparing to kick it away will be Caleb Aranda. As we are ready, football 2024 for Lee County is underway. Great to have you with us tonight wherever you are. Hobbs Sports YouTube channel, Lovington Sports YouTube channel, Cool 95.7 and Z94 KZOR. So Caleb's got it towed at the 40. He'll be kicking from the right to the left. That is to the north, and it's a high end-over-ender. Drives Chavarria back into the end zone over his head, and it will be a touchback to start things off. 1st and 10 for the Hobbs Eagles out at the 20-yard line. Brock Beatty leads Coach Ken Stevens' squad out onto the field. Lovington on defense, led by a big old line, as the tackle was made there by number 25. And we don't have a 25 on the Lovington roster. We'll try and catch that for you.
Well, you did say that Coach was really busy this last week finalizing who was going to be suiting up and starting for the team.
As it will be Beatty from the shotgun. He'll get it. He'll hand it off to Kennedy. He comes near side. He is hit in the backfield and driven backwards. Gets out of a tackle. Gets out of 2, and finally he's going to be spun out after a 2-yard gain on Dallas Perez. Finally brings him out. That's Kennedy just not wanting to go down. He turned a 2-yard loss into a 2-yard gain as he shrugged off Valente Herrera, who hit him almost immediately. Also in getting the first hit was actually Ryan Weiser. But watch out for Kennedy. If he gets a little open space, he can be dangerous. He's fast and he's tough. Lovington will go with 4 men across the front from the pistol formation. Beatty with twins to the left. Delayed handoff and blasted in the backfield. Patrick Sanchez on a delayed come-over from his left end position hits Kennedy in the backfield, and he is actually going to lose 4 yards on that one, and it'll be 3rd down and 11 officially. Make that 3rd and 12.
Valente Herrera in on that stop as well.
Patrick timed that well and just got around his man over on that end. So now it'll be 3rd and long for the Eagles. Going to be important for both of these teams to stay in front of the chains. Hobbs goes with an empty backfield. They put a tight end in the ball game to block on the right side. Twins left, twins right. Lovington in a man coverage. And the hard count, and the Cats jump, but they're actually going to say that Hobbs jumped instead. False start on the Eagles, and Coach Ken Stevens on the other side of the field just shakes his head like, ugh. He did say that they're going to have to work on getting the jitters out early. So the 5-yard penalty against Eagles will move them back. It is 3rd down and 17 now. Same formation, twins left, twins right from the near hash. Good snap, Beatty with it, throws the screen to the left side and in and out of the hands of Austin Chavarria, incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down and basically back to Hobbs. It'll be punt time for the Eagles. Gotta watch it though over on that right side as Olguin got bit in on the play fake, and that left Chavarria wide opened on. If that pass is a little bit lower, Austin could be off to the races down that far hash mark.
Yeah, and I'm just speaking of working out bugs, we have a brand new score bug, and I'm dealing with that, trying to do the best I can with that early on. We'll get used to it.
So back deep to receive the punt. Hobbs sends a man in motion right to left from the goal line, and that'll be a pop-up for Beatty. It's a wobbler, going to bounce at the 32 and then take a Lovington bounce and then go sideways, and it'll be down at the 31.5-yard line. Lovington with an absolute gift on just an 18-yard punt. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats, and they are deep in Eagle territory.
Yeah, that just went straight up almost, end over end, fell down, and man, Lovington is sitting pretty.
Wind out of the south, but only about 8 to 10 miles an hour. The flags are flapping in the breeze, but not one of those that you would expect the wind to hang up. So we'll see Matthew Prudencio taking over as the quarterback from the shotgun. He's got Cam Ochoa. I forgot Cam's still with us. Cam is the deep back. Prudencio over the middle and a sliding catch to Alec Olguin across the 15 at the 14-yard line. The 24-yard line.
And
I think they're going to say maybe, nope, they're going to leave it. So it'll be an 8-yard pickup. Prudencio to Olguin. 2nd down and 2.
Hey. It was really nice. He slid in, and he just timed it perfect to get his elbows down and scoop that up before he hit the turf. Nice work by Olguin. Again, one of the returning players, standout player, looking for big stuff this season as well.
Twins left, twins right. Ochoa goes to the right shoulder. Send a man in motion from the right to the left. That's going to be Kyler Reeves. Now they'll move out. Cardenas, and Prudencio keeps it himself. He's across the 20 and down to the 15-yard line before Hobbs finally brings him down at the bottom of the pile for the Hobbs Eagles. Number 42, Gustavo Diaz-Castro.
Now these guys down here are so pumped. The Lovington guys, they can smell the end zone, and they want to be the first to put the score on the board against Hobbs today.
12-yard gain and a first down. First down of the season. Prudencio gets it with his legs. And it'll be 1st and 10 as the Hobbs Eagles on their heels a little bit as Lovington moves into the Hobbs red zone. From the 15-yard line, about the 15 and a half. Twins left, twins right. Wildcat formation, Dallas gets it. He's going to go to the left side, and he is hit at the 10, and a huge shot put on by Sammy Baeza. But it's still out of the Wildcat formation on Dallas Cardenas. Dallas picks up 6, and it'll be 2nd down and 4.
He got some good blocks in front of him, and he really got off of the line well, really quick, and that's going to be really the key to Lovington's offensive success, is develop that play as quickly as you can.
Certainly, as we saw the Wildcat a lot last year. Split backs in the backfield this time. Prudencio back in. Twins to the right side. Low snap. Handles it. Hands it to Ochoa. Gets away from 1. Gets away from 2. Bounces out of a tackle at the 8. And goes across the 5 down to the 4-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 7 on the delayed handoff to Cam Ochoa and move the chains. 1st and goal, Wildcats.
What a nifty spin move that was. It bought him about 3.5 more yards.
Jacob Diaz finally bringing him down and saving the touchdown. But now inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal from the 4. 8:48 to go here in the first as the Wildcats knocking on the door and looking to draw first blood in the Battle of Lee County. Twins to the left, single receiver to the right. Dallas Cardenas is the deep back with Prudencio. Prudencio, low snap, handles it, hands it to Dallas, goes right tackle and cuts it back inside, and 6 on the board. Touchdown Wildcats on Dallas Cardenas, goes off tackle and into the white end zone, and the Lovington Wildcats have drawn first blood. They lead this one 6-0. Good blocking up front for the Wildcats. What sprang that one open, Jaden Garcia put a massive block right at the line on Peyton Davis, who was blitzing in, and might have had him if not for that good block. So now it'll be Caleb Aranda on to attempt the point after with 8:29 remaining here in the first quarter. And a late substitution checking in for the Wildcats as Damian Munoz will head up to the line. Now they've got all 11 guys out. Wow. There's still plenty of time on the play clock.
A lot of size on that line, I can tell you.
The snap is good, the hold is good, the kick from Aranda is up, and it is good. And with 8:29 to go in the first quarter, Lovington strikes first. Wildcats 7, Eagles trying to get on the board. Wildcat and Eagle football on Z94 and Cool 95.7 continues in 1 minute. Lovington takes advantage of a muffed punt and takes it 32 yards. Capped off into the end zone. Dallas Cardenas 4 yards out. The point after is good. And the Wildcats take the early 7-0 lead. Welcome back to Lovington. Season opener. The Battle of Lee County as Aranda will kick it high end over ender as Chavarria just going to let that one sail over his head and out the back of the end zone. And the Hobbs Eagles will take over 1st and 10, their second possession of the ball game. I'm TJ Miracle high above Wildcat Stadium. Don Morgan patrols field side. Ron Gunter helping keep an eye and an ear on the tech tonight and running the camera. And Tiff and Evie back in studio engineering and producing. Manny V also learning tonight. So Beatty going to come out. Let's see what adjustments Coach Ken Stevens has made, as it'll be Kennedy in with Beatty. Twins to the right side, single receiver left. Hobbs moving from the north to the south, and too many men moving at once. False start, and another penalty for the Eagles. They've got 2 penalties for 10 yards now. And boy, Don, it's hard to do anything when you keep losing yardage like that.
Yeah.
So an illegal shift and false start. Yeah, too many men moving at once. And that puts them behind the 8 ball, now 1st and 15.
Yeah, love it. Hobbs, you just get the feeling that they're just having a little trouble just sort of getting an engine going a little bit here. Now be careful and beware. If and when they do, it might be full speed ahead.
Braddock Beatty will go from the right side slot to the left side slot. Kennedy is the deep back. As Brock Beatty from the pistol formation, hard count, and somebody jumped, and Hobbs jumping again. Lovington's clapping.
Yeah, Lovington's indicating it. Immediately, the coaches over here on the sideline started pointing to Hobbs. They saw movement, and yeah, it looks like they're right.
So Hobbs moving the wrong way. Now 1st and 20 all the way back at the 10. That's their 3rd false start of the ball game. So they're going to come out, same formation from the pistol. Beatty ready. Kennedy behind him, and it's a bad snap, and that one will go into the end zone. Beatty just going to have to eat it as it goes out the back of the end zone, and it'll be a safety. Put 2 more on the board for the Wildcats. The safety is Brock Beatty, loses 10 yards. It'll be a 10-yard sack and a safety, and the Wildcats are rolling now up 9-0, and they will get the free kick.
Man, they've got all kinds of momentum going for them right now. But again, it's early on in the game. There's a lot of football to be played. If they can keep this spirit and the momentum, it's looking good for the Wildcats. But we've got 8:21 left to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, still a long way to go. I was just going to say, after that second false start, and that was really their third false start in a row, minus the punt, at some point, if you're Coach Ken Stevens and his staff, you got to think maybe we call timeout and just try and settle these guys down. He did say he was a little worried about getting the pregame and the first game jitters out. So Hobbs Eagle faithful are probably going, okay, let's hope that's the last of the jitters. Lovington's faithful going, let's hope they keep them for about another 2 hours or so. So the safety.
Yeah, and the stands over Hobbs, which are pretty full, not surprised, very, very quiet right now. I think they're a little stunned that Lovington has come out in just a couple of minutes, put 9 unanswered points on the board, and Hobbs is just kind of scratching their heads a little bit.
Well, they are, and Hobbs, Lovington has taken advantage of Hobbs' mistakes, and
they just need to be careful to not make their own.
Yeah, to the Cats' credit, they've taken advantage of the mistakes. Now Hobbs is going to have to try and just see if they can calm things down. It will be a free kick from the 20-yard line, and it looks like Hobbs will elect to kick it off of the tee, which may not be the worst idea in the world, as that is number 88, and I do not have an 88 on our roster. So Wilson, number 88, going to kick it away. And it's a high end-over-ender, a good kick. It'll be bouncing at the 30. It'll be picked up by Olguin at the 32. He gets it across the 40. Spin move to the 45. Still dragging guys with him on the far side of the field. And out to the 48-yard line. It'll wind up being a 17-yard return on about a 40, 50-yard kick.
Just so quick. He's hard. He's really slippery. He's hard to stop once he gets going. And he careened off of a couple of players better than a pinball game.
Good field position again for the Wildcats. They've got it 1st and 10 from their own 48-yard line, already leading 9-0, and we're not even 4 minutes into this ball game. Cardenas will start this possession on the sideline. Prudencio will bring his troops out. Twins to the left, twins to the right. Cameron Ochoa on the right shoulder from the shotgun. Matthew waits for it. High snap. Puts it right into the hands of Ochoa. Tripped up in the backfield and brought down as a big tackle coming through the big boy Jeremiah Mackey. Tripped up Cameron Ochoa. And it'll be a loss of 3 on the play. Good job by Mackey as he just shed his blocker and went in there and popped Cameron.
And this may be how Hobbs gets their mojo back a little bit. They may key off of some defensive success here. So Lovington, is important for them to punch through and continue this possession.
2nd down and 13. Empty set in the backfield. Matthew Prudencio, the quarterback, tries the hard count. Actually, we do have a deep back in the backfield. It's Jaden Gutierrez, I believe, back there. Nope, that's Cameron again. And the delayed handoff to Ochoa, and he is hit again as Mackey once again just grabs him and slings him down. And Mike Meredith also with a good stop. With the forward progress, it'll be a 2-yard gain for Cameron. He's got 3 carries for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd down and 11. We talked about it in Hobbs' first possession. You got to work in front of the chains, and right now Lovington working behind the chains.
So this is a really important 3rd down. They've got to convert, got to keep moving the chains forward and move downfield.
Twins to the left, twins to the right. Tight end on the right side. Hobbs 4 men across the front, not showing blitz. Low snap, Prudencio handles it, has time. Now he's just going to step up in the pocket, and he's still on his feet, gets flushed, goes to the right, slings it down the field, and yep, that should be a pass interference, and it will be as Cameron Ochoa got down the field, and Jacob Diaz reaches out and grabs him and holds on to him. Probably saves the touchdown, I've got to think. Cameron with good hands in the receiving corps for the running back, and it will be pass interference on the defense. So move the chains. 1st down, Wildcats. They take advantage of another Eagle mistake.
Yeah, and you got to think if Cameron had those 2-3 yards that that was being held back from, he could have connected very well. I'm impressed with how well Lovington's quarterback scrambled on that with such pressure around him, a lot of poise to get a bullet off and pretty much on target and in time before he got creamed.
Yeah, and a lot of pressure being put on there by Peyton Davis. And once again, Mike Meredith also in pursuit. I wouldn't want Meredith chasing me like that. That is a big boy. But the 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10, Lovington into Hobbs territory at the 38-yard line. Good snap with time, dumping it across the middle.
Nice
That'll
screen.
be complete to the 35, and then out to the 31-yard line, tossing that one to Javen Elijah Rivera. Elijah changed numbers on us, and he picks
9.
up 7.
He's 9 now.
Yep, he is. So the 7-yard completion, 2nd down and 3.
That was nice. It was a nice little screen, a short pass. I mean, he didn't have long, but he got rid of it within about a second and a half. And so, really nice work, a real good poise under pressure. Prudencio's looking like a quarterback that's been under center for a season or two, not just new.
Trips to the left, twins to the right, empty set in the backfield. Prudencio sends a man in motion, and they will toss it to that motion man. Patrick Sanchez gets the edge. He's to the 25, to the 20, and down near the 15-yard line. He is popped from behind by number 15, and we don't have a 15 on the roster.
And he lost his helmet, so he'll have to go to the sidelines on that, whatever that man's name is. So I think the Eagles sort of are settling into their roster, kind of like Lovington is. These coaches are still sort of making decisions on who's suited out, what numbers they are, and getting their rosters finalized. So I think that's why we got some holes in both Hobbs and Lovington today.
I think so. 15-yard gain for Patrick Sanchez on the end around, and it'll be the 4th first down for the Wildcats. So 1st and 10 for the Cats. Twins left. Single receiver right. Ochoa is the deep back with Prudencio from the right shoulder. Matthew rolls to the right, looks right. Has time, fakes it. Now swings back to the left. Gets away from pressure. Tosses it over into the corner of the end zone and overthrows Sanchez, who got popped from behind. Lovington wanting the late flag. Not going to get it. I think it was just a continuation there by Diaz. Good coverage on Sanchez. Incomplete.
That was Rivero again, number
9.
Yeah. And man, just out of reach of his fingertips, almost there.
Prudencio is 2 for 3 for 15 yards. Lovington has been getting it done on the ground so far. 5:22 to go here in the first quarter. Lovington with the early 9-0 lead. Of course, one thing we know in this series, at least over the last couple of decades, if it is a close one, it is anybody's ball game. The Lovington going to come out facing a 2nd down and 10 from the Hobbs 16-yard line. Put a man in motion over into the right tight end position. Hand it off to Ochoa on the right sweep. Goes backwards, takes to the corner. He's to the 10, a little stutter step, and across to about the 7-yard line before he is pushed out of bounds. On the far side over there by O'Marion Kennedy, playing a little D-back on that one. It'll be an 11-yard pickup as Ochoa got the corner and moved the chains. 1st and goal, Wildcats.
Yeah, awesome, and good eyes there, TJ, as they spot that. They put that football down right on the 7-yard line.
So 1st and goal for the Wildcats, 5:13 remaining. Here in the first quarter, Lovington looking to tack on to a 9-0 lead. So far, it doesn't look like Lovington has lost much with Coach G moving on. It's like Coach Bailey has kept things pretty much like they are. Low snap, Prudencio picks it off the turf, flips it into the corner of the end zone. Cameron Ochoa all by himself, 6 on the board. Touchdown, Wildcats, as Cameron will pick that one up from 7 yards out, and the Wildcats are rolling a 15-0 lead.
Wow. I knew that Lovington was going to come in hot, but I didn't have a clue they were going to make this much noise this early in this game. I think everybody was surprised.
So it'll be point after to come. Lovington trying to make it 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions on the lead, as looks like they may go for the 2-point conversion here. That would make it a 3-score lead. Josh Bailey not wasting any time trying to keep his foot on the gas pedal here. So Lovington is going to run the play instead of kicking the point after. He's going to try and go up by 3 scores. Empty set in the backfield, trying to spread Hobbs out. 4 receivers stacked to the right side. Prudencio with it. Blitz comes. Rolls right. Throws across the middle. Has a man at the goal line.
Reeves.
And Kyler Reeves, his first catch of the night. And that will give Reeves the 2-point conversion. And Lovington takes the early 17-0 lead over Hobbs. Lovington 17, Hobbs nothing. 5:06 to go in the first. Wildcat and Eagle football continues in a moment on KZOR and Cool 95.7. Wildcats will take it 52 yards and punch it into the end zone. A 7-yard pass to Cameron Ochoa. Then the 2-point conversion is good, as that one going to go out the back of the end zone once again, as Lovington with a 3-score lead, and we are just barely halfway through the first quarter. I'm TJ Miracle, high above the blue turf here at Wildcat Stadium, Urlacher Field. Dawn Morgan patrols field side. Dawn, I think if you'd asked anybody if you'd have told anybody it'd be 17-0 with 5:06 to go in the first and Lovington would be in the lead,
yeah,
I think everybody would have said, you're crazy. I would have said you're crazy.
They are so pumped up.
So now Beatty back in. Kennedy is the deep back with him. Good snap. Hand it to Kennedy. He's got a big hole up the middle. He's across the 25 to the 30. Cuts it to the outside, to the midfield, to the 40, to the 30. It's a foot race. 20, 15, and catching him from behind is Cameron Ochoa. But he gets down to the 10-yard line. Let's see, that's 30, 40, 50, 60, 68 yards for O'Marion Kennedy, and first down for the Eagles. That may be the big play that the Eagles wanted and needed.
Yeah, you got to feel that they're going to be riding some momentum right there. That's the first really good play for Hobbs in this game so far. I mean, their offense was just non-existent until that play. Good
blocks up the middle, and that has kind of been a weakness for the Wildcats in the past 7-8 years, is their run defense up the middle. And timeout taken by Coach Josh Bailey. 4:50. He wants to go ahead and settle this one down. 4:54 to go here in the first quarter. Hobbs knocking on the door, but Lovington leading 17-0. We're back in 1 minute on Cool 95.7 and Eagle 100.5. Inside the Lovington red zone, out of the Wildcat timeout, it'll be first down and 10 for Hobbs from the 15-yard line. Hobbs going to shift everybody over to the left side. Single receiver on the right is French. And it's a bad snap, and that one's on the turf. It is loose at the 15. Kennedy picks it up and saves it. Is actually going to wind up with a yard or two out of it. Pardon me. That's Seamus Wright who picked that one up and gets a 1-yard gain out of it. So a big bullet dodged right there by the Eagle offense.
And they've had some trouble with their snaps. They've just had, I just said, you know, I guess Coach Stevens had said, some first game jitters maybe, but we're more than halfway through this first quarter. Got to knock that rust off.
High snap, hand it to Kennedy. He goes left side, tries to bounce it outside, and the turf monster going to get credit for the tackle. Actually, I think officially in the books, Kyler Reeves will get credit for it. Kennedy is upset with himself. He's going to wind up with 1 yard, but that one's another one that could have wound up being absolutely huge. Yep. And that's the first turf monster tackle that we've had this season. And yes, I stole that from Brad Sham on the Cowboys Radio Network, and I will proudly admit it. So now it'll be third down and a long 8 for Hobbs. Empty set in the backfield. Bad snap over the head of Beatty. He's going to go back and get it at the 35. Picks it up and is creamed by Alec Olguin. Oh, from the 15, let's see, that's going to wind up being 15, 21-yard sack. And so, ouch, second sack of the night for the Wildcats, as Alec Olguin gets credit for that one. And Hobbs goes from inside the red zone, having a 1st and 10 from the 15, to 4th down and Eunice.
Yeah, and Lovington just taking advantage of all kinds of trouble Hobbs is having with the mechanics of their snaps.
Yeah, that doesn't go down in the book as a turnover, but it might as well be. And Coach Stevens at 4th and 30 says, what the heck, we might as well go for it. Twins left, twins right. If you're Lovington, basically you just drop back and prevent. Good snap. Beatty with it. Has time. Now a little pressure. Steps up in the pocket. Fires it across the middle. Into traffic and incomplete. Intended target down there, waiting to see. Turn around, young man, so I can catch your number. As the intended target was Austin Chavarria, incomplete for Beatty.
And it was
over on downs for the Cats.
Jaden Gutierrez and Cameron Ochoa who jumped up and really prevented that completion. So good job there on defense for Lovington.
1st and 10 from their own 35, and this is the worst starting position that that Lovington has had.
Yeah, and I also got a message from Art Castro of Lovington saying number 15 for Hobbs is Amron Castro.
Aha, Art would know, I have a feeling.
I think
so. Lovington going to go with a jumbo package.
Ooh,
and now back to snap and throwing it over the middle and complete to Sanchez across the 40 to the 43-yard line for Merari Orozco will bring him down. And so it is going to be a completion to Patrick Sanchez. It's good for 8. And it'll be 2nd down and 2 again, staying in front of the chains. What Lovington wants to do. They've got 5 first downs here in the first quarter. As Matthew Prudencio, 4 of 5, 30 yards and a touchdown in the first quarter. Score update coming in from just to the north of us in Tatum. Halftime up at Pyre Field. And Tatum leading Escalante 28-14 on the Tatum Sports YouTube channel. Thanks, Tiff. Low snap, and that one's on the turf, and just going to have to eat that one. Prudencio, that'll be a sack for the Hobbs Eagles as 3 Eagles going to share in on that one, including number 22, who we do not have on the roster. Also 33, which is Tristan Davis, and 48, Aiden Glum. All going to share in that one. It'll be the first sack of the ball game.
Davis actually was the last to fall on top of him, and he was the first to reach down and help pull him up, too.
So it'll be a 4-yard sack, and that will move it back. It'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Wildcats. 90 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Lovington leading 17-0. Cats going to come out. Twins to the right, single receiver to the left. Cardenas is the lone back in the backfield, and whistle sound, and Coach Bailey going to burn his second timeout with 1:15 remaining here in the first. We'll just keep it right here and say a big thank you to all of the great sponsors who make Lovington Wildcat and Hobbs Eagle football possible. For the Lovington Wildcats, couldn't do it without Bob's Thriftway, Eastern New Mexico University, Eunice Pump and Supply, Miko Services, Man Welding, Lovington Schools, Devon Energy, Stone Oilfield Services, the First American Bank of Lovington, the Miko Companies, Lovington Auto Supply, Napa, Master Plumbers, and the Lee County Electric Cooperative. For the Hobbs Eagles on Cool 95.7. Eagle Sports and Eagle Football brought to you by the First American Bank of Hobbs, Eastern New Mexico University, Eunice Pump and Supply, NMR Pipeline, Miko Services, Hobbs Express, Lasco Construction, Devon Energy, the Miko Companies, Divine Energy Services, Master Plumbers, Lee County State Bank, Forest Tire Company, and TDS. I'm TJ Miracle, high above Wildcat Field. Ron Gunter running the camera, keeping an eye on the tech and helping me with some spotting up here. Don Morgan patrolling field side. Another score coming in as late in the first in Eunice. The Eunice Cardinals taking it to Ruidoso 21-6 in that one over on the Eunice Sports YouTube channel. So now it'll be 3rd down and 6 out of the Wildcat timeout. Lovington football from their own 39-yard line. Low snap, handled. Prudencio gets out of pressure, tosses across the middle and skips it in. Was trying to find Elijah Rivero over the middle, but it was Castro who put on the intense pressure, and Prudencio having to short arm that one just a little bit. It'll be 4th down, and I've got to think punt time for the Wildcats. Have to see what Coach Bailey's going to do here.
Yeah, you'd think he wouldn't want to hand over the ball with this and give Hobbs this good a field position.
Yeah, with 109 and the defense has really played pretty well and taken advantage of a lot of things. Oh, nope. Looks like maybe Coach Bailey learned something from Coach Gonzalez after all. I wouldn't have even asked that question if Coach G was still here, but now we know. Now we know how Josh is going to do this one. Trying to get the hard count, 2-1, and they didn't get that one off. Nope. That'll be delay of game, first penalty of the ball game for Lovington. And now I think you got to punt because it'll be 4th down and 11. First penalty of the ball game for the Cats. And, the punt team comes out. I think they were hoping they were going to get Hobbs to jump off sides, and I would have a feeling that Coach Stevens and the defensive staff basically told that entire defense, if you jump, you run until I'm tired. And yes, I have had coaches tell me that before. No, it is not fun. I still remember it. High snap, it is handled, and the big boot put into it, a high end-over-ender, and that one is going to be fielded by Mora, and he takes it, gets away from one, takes it to the left side, has blockers down to the far sideline, to the 50, to the 40
flags
before bounced out of bounds, and flags back in Hobbs territory. Around the 43-yard line, I think we've got a hold on that return, which might have helped Mora, but Mora did a nice job on that far side as he got a block, and he's got some wheels, and he took off.
And, you know, Olguin was first to get to him, but he had such a head of steam going, and Olguin is so quick. He kind of just glanced. He just kind of touched him a little bit and was by him before he could try to bring him down and do any damage.
As we wait for the official call, I've got to think it's going to be a hold on the return. Hobbs is acting like it's on them, and it is.
Yeah, they're moving back.
They are moving back, and it will be holding on the return on the Eagles. Oh, we have a decline, and then we actually have two holdings on the return. So you can't take them both. You only get 10 yards out of it. So that is the fifth penalty for Hobbs for 40 yards. But that is a much more than a 40-yard penalty, or rather a 10-yard penalty, because up from the 40, so that'd be 10, 20, takes them all the way back to the around the 30-yard line. It's going to wind up being about a 40-yard penalty before it's all said and done. 10, 20, 30, about a 30-yard penalty before it's all said and done. Only goes in the books as 10. But now Hobbs going to try and get the offense on track. Under a minute to go in the first. Lovington up 17-zip. Seamus Wright in the backfield. Send a man in motion left to right. Another high snap handed to the motion man. Coming around the near side, and not much room to run there for Gabriel Henry trying the end around. Henry going to wind up getting about a yard out of it before Olguin and a whole bunch of other guys track him down.
Yeah, pretty good read by Lovington's defense on that. They really sniffed that out and really kept the damage from being worse, kept him from bursting through. Had he gotten through a couple more Lovington defensemen, if he would have had some room to run there. Very
similar to what Lovington has run, worked it to perfection earlier in the quarter. Hobbs does not have to run another play here if they don't want to. 10-second difference, and they will. High snap again. Beatty with it, with time. Good blocking. Now he's going to be forced backwards. He reverses course, runs to the left, under pressure, throws it across his body, and making a great adjustment down at the 40-yard line is Henry, and that's a huge gain. They needed it as time expires. So let's see, that's going to be 10, 20, 29 yards on the first completion of the day. Goes to Henry.
And I think Lovington, if they could have that back and maybe just go ahead and stall and run the clock out instead of running, I think they'd like to do that.
I think they would too. So we have come to the end of the first quarter. Lovington 17, Hobbs 0, but on the march. Wildcat and Eagle football will continue in a moment on Cool 95.7 and KZOR. Back here at Wildcat Stadium, Hobbs Eagle football, Lovington Wildcat football. Great to have you with us opening the season tonight. I'm TJ Miracle, and for Ty Friend, Ron Gunter running the tech and the camera and helping me spot. Don Morgan, field side, patrolling. Hobbs in the hole to Lovington, 17-0. And Ron just showed me it's after the end of the first quarter in the Battle of Eddy County tonight, and very similar is Artesia leading Carlsbad, who Lovington will see in a couple weeks, 16-0. So 1st and 10 for the Eagles from the Wildcat 41-yard line. Beatty goes back to the full shotgun this time. Twins to the left, twins to the right. Coach Stevens changing things over on the sideline. Waiting on the snap, gets it, hands it off. And a little delay going around the left side with some room. Seamus Wright with room. He's across the 25, down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line.
But a flag.
21 yards if it stands, but that's in the neighborhood of holding.
Yeah, but it's a flag in the backfield. Way back, just
Valente Herrera losing his helmet, so he's going to have to come off for a play. And Hobbs moving backwards, so we've got a hold. Wipes out a great play. But now Valente Herrera going to have to come off the field, and so you target, I think, that spot in the line if you're the Hobbs Eagles.
Yeah, Valente is a force of nature, and without him there, it does create a weaker place.
So a 10-yard penalty, and that will move the Eagles all the way back to right at midfield. Should be just under the chin of the big cat at midfield. Actually, that'll put them back inside of Lovington territory.
Wow.
Yeah, because they were on the 41, so that'll take them back to the Hobbs 49. 6 penalties, 50 yards for the Eagles. Ouch, ouch, ouch. So it goes from being a Hobbs Eagle first down, they only have 2 so far in the game, to being 1st and 20. Hobbs, too many mistakes so far. They're going to have to clean things up if they want to get back into this ball game. Just underway, second quarter. 17-0 is the score in favor of Lovington. Seamus Wright stays in at the running back. Twins left, twins right for Beatty. Fake the handoff, and Beatty just going to have to fall on and eat it back at the 45. So another sack going to be credited to the Wildcats. This one just to the 5-yard variety, but the transitions from center to quarterback and quarterback to running back continue for the Eagles. 3rd sack of the night for Lovington.
So what's really good to see about Lovington is their offense and their defense seemed equally fired up and equally prepared to bring their A game from the very beginning of this game. We'll see if they have the legs to keep it consistent throughout. 2nd
and 25. High snap. Beatty handles it. Has time. Good protection. Now rolls to the right. Directs traffic. Pumps, looks, throws it off the back foot. Has a man over the middle and into Lovington territory. As tossing over, and that'll be complete to number 2. That is
Beatty Braddock.
That is Beatty Braddock. Braddock to Braddock. And they're going to get about 10 of what they needed back. 9 yards officially on the completion. And it's still 3rd down and about, we'll call it 3rd and 18. So back inside Wildcat territory. They've got to get it all the way down to the 30 from the 49-yard line as whistles sound. The Whitecap wants to talk to Coach Bailey about something. Maybe something to do with the clock. I'm not sure what the deal is here. Oh, they're asking them
about blowhorns.
Yeah, they're asking them. Yeah. We've got the air horns and things, and people in the stands are blowing them.
Too loud.
So they're too loud, and in Texas that's perfectly okay, but in New Mexico it is not. The bands can't play when the team is in front of them. You can't use the air horns, and they're blowing the air horn. Shut that air horn up, or they'll give them a 15-yard penalty.
They can't keep the crowd from using their voice, and that's what Coach Bailey was indicating.
That is, but there was an air horn just blew.
Yeah. Stop the air horns, but get your voices louder. Go ahead and keep the spirit up and Mr. Cheering.
And Mr. Crawford telling them no air horn, no air horn. They're not going to give them another warning. It'll be a 15-yard penalty, and that would give Hobbs almost a 1st down. So now a huge 3rd down and 19. Beatty with time, steps up in the pocket under pressure, wants it all down the left side, and that'll be a pass interference on the far side as Lovington got tangled up there, as looked like maybe some words down there being exchanged. So an incomplete pass, but it's not going to matter. It'll be a 15-yard penalty on the pass interference on the Wildcats. Their second penalty for 20 yards. And so from 3rd and 18 to 3rd and 3, a much more manageable situation for the Cats, or rather for the Eagles here. Now they're going to try and cash in on some Wildcat mistakes.
Right, Lovington just got to kind of pull it back in, pull it in tight, continue that fanatical effort. FE, and you still see the FE on shirts and helmets and uniforms down here, continuing what Coach G put in motion for years.
So now it'll be 3rd down and call it 2 for Hobbs. Twins left, Twins right. Trying to take advantage of Lovington mistake. Empty set in the backfield. Beatty has it himself. He crosses the 30 down to about the 28-yard line. It'll be a 5-yard pickup on the keeper for Beatty and move the chains. First down, Eagles.
Man, he was carrying Kyler Reeves on his back like a big turtle across, 3, 4, 5 more yards. So some strength there.
Third first down for Hobbs in the first half. 10-15, 10-18 remaining here in this first half. Hobbs trying to get on the board, trailing 17-0. Twins left, Twins right. Empty set in the backfield once again. Beatty with time, steps up in the pocket, slings it and overthrows his intended target as he was trying to get Justice French, who got a step down there and got behind Bronx Areola. But just about half a step more is what he needed to catch up to that one. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Zondalis Cardenas going to check out. 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles. Knocking on the door of the Wildcat red zone. Since we're blue, is it really a red zone or would it be a blue zone? I think about these things. Here at Brian Urlacher Field, everything's blue.
Smurfville.
Offset. Backs in the backfield. Now they'll go out to a split eye, and another bad snap. Beatty gets it back at the 40, tosses it across his body, and that one's going to be picked off back at the 19-yard line. The INT is Lovington. Rivero picks it off. And so the INT, second turnover of the night for Hobbs, and Rivero gets the INT. And Lovington will snap down on what could have been a momentum builder for the Hobbs Eagles, and they will take over with just over 10 minutes to go in the half, already leading by 3 scores.
Well, Eagles, had their longest offensive possession of the game there and took it down the field, courtesy of a mistake or two by Lovington D, and ended up, just outside the 20-yard line. And then
Rivero steps up big and makes the INT. Late substitution coming in for Lovington. That's Jaden Gutierrez.
And really, they came out of great pressure on the line by Lovington's defense and a broken play, and to really, the Hobbs quarterback just had to scramble, and it didn't end well for him.
Twins to the right, single receiver to the left. Low snap, it's handled, and whistles sound everywhere. I think we're going to have a false start.
On the line.
Yeah, we're going to have a false start on Lovington. And that's actually going to wind up being not a terrible thing. Oh, no, they waved that one off. His knee went down, so it's the equivalent of a sack.
Yep.
So Prudencio's got to be careful. They'll give that one on the sack. They'll give that to one of the big boys up front. I've got to think it's going to be Meredith who gets credit for that sack.
He was getting stood up, and he just slipped, and he didn't intend to kneel to get that knee down, but
2nd and 15 for the Wildcats. Send a man in motion from the left to the right. Backfield empties out. Prudencio, pressure comes. He's hit in the end zone. Ball is out. Lovington just needs to fall on that one, and that is exactly what is going to happen. Valente Herrera gets it, and it will be a 13-yard sack and a safety for the Eagles, and they get on the board with the safety. So the sack and the safety, and Hobbs now, their defense did a nice job doing that one, and heads-up play by Herrera just to fall on that one as the O-line is going over, and they're slapping each other around going, come on, guys, we got to do better than that. And Hobbs finally was something to celebrate.
Yeah, Lovington with some snapping problems of their own there, and they've had a couple 3 low snaps, and that one's proved to be costly. It's the first one that they couldn't recover from, and ended up costing them a couple of points.
So now it'll be a free kick for the Wildcats. 9:15 remaining in the first half. Hobbs on the board, 17-2. That has got to be maybe not the strangest score I've ever seen, but it's a bit odd. So Lovington going to try and bring it all back together. And you got to think Caleb Aranda will put the big leg out there. They do have one of the best place kickers in the state. And we didn't talk about this in the pregame show. Your kicking game, if it becomes a tight game, if you got Caleb Aranda, he's money from 30 in. He's probably still in the 70-80% range out to about 40, and he's got a 50, maybe a 55-yard leg in him if everything goes right. So that could wind up making a difference late in this ball game.
Sure
and,
can.
And sometime over the course of the season, you may need him to do just that.
I think that's why Lovington, the intel on this team early on is showing them, number 2 in district, because they're strong. Special teams, offense, defense, just in these specialty positions.
So
Very
Lovington
good.
will have their first turnover of the game. Results in the safety, and Aranda going to boot that one away. It's a helicopter kick. Going to bounce at the 25. It'll be picked up there. Eagles bringing it up the sideline, 40, 45, 50, and almost taking that one to the house. Gabriel Henry, that kid is having a whale of a ball game, the 6'3 junior. That kid has got some wheels and a good return there. Hobbs will have good field position, 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line.
Yeah, what's the rushing so far on Henry?
On Henry, well, the only thing I keep up with is just the basics. He got 1 carry for 1 yard. I don't keep return yards.
Okay.
So. And he's got 1 catch for 29 yards.
Right.
Plus his returns. The kid's having a whale of a night. Single back in the backfield for Beatty. Twins to the left, single receiver right, and he runs into his running back. Now he's going to be forced to run for his life as Val Herrera going to hit him and wrestle him down back at the 35-yard line. It'll be a 5-yard sack. Give it to Val Herrera, 4th sack of the night for the Wildcats, and the offensive miscommunication continues as Beatty and his running back that time, that was Kennedy, just ran into each other.
Yeah.
Went one way and thought he was going one way, and just a little miscommunication. What I'm trying to say is Beatty thought he was going one way, Kennedy thought he was going another way, and unfortunately they wound up going the same way.
Yeah, right into each other.
2nd down and 15, 8:27 remaining in the half. Hobbs trying to crawl out of a 15-point hole, and a huge hole for Kennedy as he blasts into Lovington territory down to the Wildcat 45-yard line.
Cameron Ochoa got him from behind. Otherwise, he was ready to squirt through and run for the end zone.
18 yards for Kennedy and move the chains. 1st down, Eagles. 85 yards on 5 carries for Amarian Kennedy. Kid is having a whale of a first half.
Still a good job for Lovington to keep that at just moving the chains forward and not a run into the end zone.
Good pickup from behind to bring him down. Patrick Sanchez and a host of other Cats getting to him to bring him down. Hobbs, though, finally starting to feel a little mojo here late in the first half. Good snap, Beatty with it. Hand it to Kennedy. He sweeps left side. He's got a hole again on the sweep. He crosses the 35 and down to near the 30-yard line. It'll be 14 yards for Kennedy that time and move the chains. 1st down, Eagles.
The right side has been the strong side for Eagles tonight in terms of, any kind of offensive production.
Back-to-back 1st down runs for Amarian Kennedy, sitting at 99 yards in the first half. He has been the Eagles' O. And flags fly. We're going to have an illegal formation. Normally when they fly before that, it'll be an offensive penalty. Maybe too many guys moving. I'm not sure what they're going to call here.
Looked
the
like
white
the
cap
ref
will
was,
tell us.
Looked like the ref was.
And it'll be false start on Hobbs. And they really cleaned the last 4 or 5 series. Have really cleaned things up. They've still got 7 penalties now, 55 yards. 1st down and 15 for them with 7.5 remaining first half. Lovington still up by 15, 17-2 is the score. So 1st and 15 puts them back at the 37-yard line inside Wildcat territory. The Hobbs faithful trying to make some noise. The Lovington faithful trying to make some noise.
As long as without the air horn, we're okay.
Deep back in the backfield, Beatty, good snap this time. Steps up in the pocket. Now he's going to be flushed. Rolls right, throws right across his body. Has a man down at the 20-yard line. It'll be complete, but I think we're going to have a flag on the play.
And they've got 2 flags. I don't know. It was right as on Dallas. So Cardenas was right on him.
Complete to Beatty. Let's see. It'll be 17 yards for the first down if it stands.
Is it offensive? Is it interference?
It may be defensive pass interference. Let's see. I'm looking for the white cap.
Because it was right as Cardenas turned around and was trying to keep him from catching that. So that's what I'm thinking it was
and Hobbs has moved up, so that'll be pass interference on the defense, and they will decline that and take the result of the play. So the 17-yard completion to Beatty, his second catch of the day for 26 yards, 6 first down. Move the chains, first down, Eagles. 55 yards through the air in the first half for Braddock Beatty inside the Lovington red zone at the 20-yard line. Hobbs finding their groove. Trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Kennedy is the deep back. Beatty from the pistol this time. Good snap. Fakes the handoff. Now wants it all. Goes to the end zone and knocked away at the last second by Ryan Weiser.
Yeah, another defensive interference, I think, on Weiser. He just happened to, he put up his hand.
He put up his hand
and
it was,
away.
The problem is he was still facing the receiver and he ran into him.
Yep.
If Ryan is turned around doing that, then it's no problem. It's a good defense, even if they make contact.
But they were running in the same direction still, and he put his hand up and made contact with the ball, batted it away.
Even though he made contact, he wasn't looking back, trying to find the ball. And it will be pass interference on the Wildcats. Third accepted penalty against the Cats for 35 yards, and it'll be the 7th first down for Hobbs. So that'll move Hobbs to the 10-yard line, half the distance penalty, so it winds up being a 10-yard penalty. We'll make a quick note of that. And
low snap,
that low snap at Beatty with it, rolls left side, flag on the play, and we will have a hold. Yep, we will have a hold on the play, no gain. But we're going to have a hold in the backfield as they are going to whistle that one on Diego Argot. Diego got a good block on his man as he was trying to slow down Damian Munoz and did. Problem is, then Argot decided to sit on him. I wouldn't want Damian sitting on me.
No way.
So it's another penalty for the Eagles. 65 penalty yards now for Hobbs, and that'll move them back to the 20. It'll be first and goal from the 20 now for Hobbs.
And really, Lovington penalties have put them in this position.
So after the hold, first and goal from the 20-yard line, 6:55 to go. Hobbs trails by 15, but on the march. Twins left, twins right from the near hash mark. Lovington shows blitz. Now Hobbs going to adjust. Beatty barking out changes on the line. 10 seconds remain on the play clock. Low snap. Beatty is going to have to eat this one. Steps up, tosses across the middle. Has a man at the 10 and gets half of him back. A huge play. Beatty to Beatty. 10 yards, and they get the penalty back. I don't know how he got that one away, Dawn.
I don't know. And Jaden Gutierrez was right there on his man and slid him down immediately, but not before. Hobbs was able to scoop that up.
Well, it just proves why you never, ever give up on a play.
Yeah.
So that'll be second and goal from the 10. Eagles put split backs in the backfield. That is Wright and Kennedy. Low snap. Handed off to Wright. He goes up the middle and shakes and bakes his way down to the 5-yard line.
It was a pretty good fake. And it allowed him to kind of sneak through for a couple, 3 yards and end up getting down to the 5. They're going to put the nose of the football right on the 5-yard line.
So that'll be third and goal from the 5. We have hit the halfway mark of the second quarter. Hobbs knocking on the door. Coach Bailey trying to get the Lovington faithful up as we've got a third and goal from the 5. Hobbs knocking on the door. Beatty with it. Looks to the right. Comes back, is hit. Valente Herrera gets a part of him, and then he comes in, and Beatty gets cleaned up back at the 13-yard line. And is coming over and cleaning it up was Jose Juarez, the senior D lineman. And that's going to move him all the way back out to the 14-yard line, a 9-yard sack. And so now it'll be fourth and goal from the 14. If you're Coach Stevens, you're going to go for it right here. You trail by 2 touchdowns plus. No choice in the matter. You might ought to think about a timeout to talk about it.
Lovington D got to step up big time here.
Trips to the right side. Single receiver to the left. Good snap this time. Beatty with it. Has time. Pump fake. Now he's flushed, rolls left, looking for help, tosses just as he's hit, and it is overthrown as Olguin, he was turned around and jumped up and got a piece of that when the intended target, Austin Chavarria.
Yeah, clean coverage by Olguin, and he knew, even though it was overthrown, I think without that little tip by Olguin going up, I think it was catchable maybe. So good job.
I think you were right, and so Hobbs will turn it over on down, so Wildcats will get it back with 4:48 remaining. You're listening to the Lovington Wildcats on Z94 KZOR Hobbs Lovington, the Z94 KZOR app, and the Lovington Sports YouTube channel. You're listening to the Hobbs Eagles on KLEA Hobbs, Cool 95.7, the Cool 95.7 app, the Hobbs Sports YouTube channel, and also both games available, HobbsAmerica.com. Sitting in for Ty Friend on the Hobbs call, I'm TJ Miracle. We're doing a combined Lee County call tonight. I'm TJ Miracle, Don Morgan patrolling field side, Tiffany V in studio, engineering and producing. Manny V helping us out too, and we will have a timeout. We'll just keep it right here. Ron Gunner running our tech tonight, doing a great job on the camera and keeping an eye on things and spotting a couple things I've missed. So 4:48 to go. And the timeout taken by Lovington, their final timeout. Dawn, do you think that maybe Coach Bailey is just trying to kind of
ice the Eagles just
ice
a bit.
The Eagles a little bit, but maybe
yes.
try and calm his own team down and maybe get them a little bit of a breather, because that's one thing with Lovington playing a lot of Ironman football. Hobbs doesn't have to do that.
No.
They need to take the breaks they can get and catch their breath.
Love it. I mean, Hobbs has such a bigger roster. They have very few two-way players. And Lovington, man, I tell you what, they're out there. They've got so many two-way players right now. And, yes, it gets exhausting. Right now, adrenaline has them just really pumped. But the heat and just, the time spent on the field, the effort, it's going to catch up to them.
The heat's got me wore out, and I'm sitting in the press box. I'm not out there playing in it. The weather service on my weather app says it's still 94 degrees.
Yeah,
so it is still hot as we click to 8 o'clock on this Friday night.
I'm sweating, and I don't even have a bunch of, pads and helmet and everything on like these guys do, and not doing the putting the FE out there, fanatical effort.
Well, you're putting out the effort. I think we all are. And, of course, we've got the cinder block booth up here, which is kind of like a cinder block oven.
Yeah, it kind of bakes you guys.
So out of the Wildcat timeout from their own 14-yard line, Prudencio, good snap this time. Pressure comes. He is hit back at the 5, gets out of it, tosses it over to the near side, has Rivero at the 20, and he is still on his feet and gets it out to the 22-yard line, close to first down yardage. Peyton Davis with a massive hit on him, but somehow Prudencio got that one away. Officially a 9-yard pitch and catch to Rivero.
He was able to make the turn and get a couple, 3 more yards out of it before that steamroll by Davis just, flew him out of. It was like he had one of those movie stunt, ropes or something. Somebody was just yanking him. The instant he got hit, that was a big hit.
Davis has had a couple of massive hits tonight. Playing good from his defensive back position. Lovington going to go split backs in the backfield this time from the near hash mark. Twins to the right side. Good snap. Hand it to Ochoa, and he trips up at the line.
He went hard on the turf. I think he just got that wind knocked out of him. He went hard and just fell on his chest first, and he's a little slow getting up, and they're going to come out. But it looked to me like maybe he just knocked the wind out of him. Let's hope that that's all it is.
Hope so.
Yeah, he was starting to slip a little bit, and then
he
got
has
a little
not
help from the Eagles' defense there.
Yeah, he hasn't moved as Tristan Davis in on that stop and kind of tripped him up a little bit there.
Yep.
So the training staff going to be out and take a look at him.
He
got him up, so
forward.
just a hard fall.
I think it just knocked the wind out of him.
And when you fall on a football like that, it can be. I mean, it can feel like, you're a sledgehammer hitting you in the stomach or the chest.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of padding just right there, below your shoulder pads, right there in that midsection, and man, that's got to hurt.
Yes, it does. No gain officially on the play, and so it'll be 3rd down and about a yard to go for the Wildcats. They're going to come out and measure. They gave him a little bit of forward progress on that one. They're going to stretch the chains. I think he's going to be a little short.
Maybe a third of the football.
Yep.
Just barely.
So it'll be 3rd down and about 2 chain links on the chains.
Yeah, not very much at all to go.
So third down and a sneeze, as one of my mentors, Al Patterson, would say.
So Lovington got to be very tough here. Just try to get that. Just get a few inches, and an inch is as good as a mile in this.
Yes, it is. Move the chains. Hobbs leading the first down battle now 7-5. Lovington going to try and get one of those back right here. Good snap, Wildcat to Cardenas. A little stutter step. He busts out across the 25 and out to near the 30-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5 for Dallas and move the chains. First down, Wildcats.
Yeah, and Dallas put his head down, found a little daylight, spurted through, and got about 3 or 4 yards there after he almost got taken down.
Going to give him 6 officially on the play. 16 yards on 3 carries, 4 on Dallas. Good to see him back. Very limited by injuries last year.
And I have a feeling they're probably going to use him, just in a limited way, really protect him until they make sure that he's totally healthy and ready. I know his heart is ready to be in there.
I know we saw him. I know we saw him do a cartwheel last year, and Coach G just kind of like, oh, Dallas, don't do that.
Yeah.
1st and 10 for the Cats from their own 30-yard line. Prudencio, the quick hit over the middle, and Weiser in and out of Ryan's hand, and he is hit as it gets there immediately. Tristan Davis coming over from the linebacker. He played trailer really good right there, and he timed that one out well and blows Weiser up. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 30. Weiser's one of them. He is moved to wide receiver, but they've used him at running back before. Sometimes he has a little trouble getting the ball when he's trying to catch it, but when he does, that kid has got some wheels.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he's a great center fielder. He's just a natural athlete. He does a real star and stand out on the baseball team, and he can cover a lot of territory from center field. He's
really
off.
His helmet's off, and he's checking his arm. A high snap. Wildcat to Cardenas again, cuts it back up the middle, and he gets it across the 35 out to about the 37-yard line. Make it the 38-39 with forward progress. Let's see where they put it for sure, 38. So 8 yards to Dallas on the Wildcat, and 3rd and 2. That keeps you in front of the chains. We keep talking about it, and we will keep talking about it.
After stretching out, his shoulder out just a little bit, Weiser put his helmet back on. He's going to get some hydration. I think he's going to be okay. The coaches were kind of giving him a look like we got to make sure that's not something serious.
3rd down and 2. 3:15 remaining here in the first half. Cats leading 17-2 and trying to add to it. Hobbs has shown a lot more fight, though, in this second quarter. So now an important 3rd down and 2. Hobbs going to crowd the line. Go with a base 4-3 high snap. Hand it off. Nope, fake the handoff. Prudencio with it, and then he is hit just as he lets that one fly. Hobbs was bringing everything and maybe the kitchen sink, too. Tried to toss it to Rivero over on the far side. Good coverage by Omarion Kennedy over there. And also Javen Hernandez forces it incomplete. And did you see who got the big hit on the QB?
I wasn't. They got up too fast and
I think it was Gustavo Diaz Castro who put the big hit on him. Blitzed from the linebacker position and flattened him. So now 4th down and 2, and decision time for the Cats. They're going to come out and look like they're going to go for it. Prudencio can punt it away. We've seen this one before. Empty set in the backfield. High snap. Throw the screen near side. And nowhere to go for Dallas as he's hit behind the line. He's actually going to lose 3 yards. It'll be a completion to on Dallas Cardenas.
He had good coverage on him, though, over here near the sideline.
Yes, did. And the stop credited to Mirari Orozco. And so over on downs as Hobbs will take back over from the Wildcat 35. 2:45 remaining in the first half. Hobbs still with all 3 timeouts remaining. So and they want to get on the board here late.
Some time on the clock, and with those timeouts, that becomes a managing the clock kind of offense here.
Good snap. Beatty fakes the handoff, now throws it. Has a man on the near sideline. That'll be complete out across the 25 at the 24-yard line. Get that one to Henry.
Gabriel. Yep, Gabriel Henry.
Now that's going to be enough for the first down plus some, an 11-yard gain, and move the chains. First down, Eagles. 2 catches, 40 yards for Henry, 75 through the air now for Beatty.
So it's interesting. It was really all offense in the first quarter for Lovington, and now it's all defense and flip-flop for the Eagles.
Come out in a 4-receiver set once again. Kennedy is the deep back. Pardon me, that's Wright. And they will hand it to Wright, but he is hit immediately and driven backwards. Seamus going to lose a yard on that one. Coming up from the bottom of the pile, Patrick Sanchez also went on that stop. Damian Munoz.
Kyler Reeves.
It'll be a loss of 1 on the play for Wright, and it'll be 2nd down and 11. So 2nd down and 11. Clock continues to move. 2:15 remaining first half. Hobbs trying to chop into a 15-point Wildcat lead. Twins left, twins right from the near hash mark. Wright stays in as the running back. And a little delay there as Hobbs wasn't ready for it as Beatty runs, tosses, throws it down, and that one is going to be caught at the 3-yard line. How did Hobbs get that one? I don't know. It's an INT.
It's INT,
the
yeah.
INT.
Yeah, Lovington.
Second interception of the night for the Wildcats, as that was a tip ball, and I thought that somehow that Isaiah Rodriguez had come down with it. No, it was Kyler Reeves with the INT.
Yeah, he comes over and he's getting some good low fives from the coaching staff over here.
3rd turnover of the night for the Hobbs Eagles. Give it back to Lovington.
And what a good place for Lovington to save it from being a touchdown right there.
So the defense comes up again for the Wildcats. So they'll have it first and a long way to go. But they've got it back from the 3-yard line. Got to be careful, though.
They're so close to their own end zone here.
Yeah, there's already been 1 safety for each team. Lovington doesn't want to make it 2. Prudencio with it. Hand it off, and just up the middle, Ochoa gets about a yard on it. Not much more than that. Just trying to get a little bit of running room. Or pardon me, that was Cardenas. So 1 yard for Cardenas. 5 carries, 25 yards for Dallas. As timeout going to be taken by the Eagles. 96 seconds to go here in the first half. We'll just keep it right here. And score update coming in late in the first quarter. It's all Dexter. They lead the Jowl Panthers 24-0. Coach Brett Satterwhite, now the head coach at Jowl, taking over after a very successful stint up in Tatum. Of course, don't forget, coming up in 96 seconds of game clock time, we will have your Lovington Auto Supply Napa Know-How halftime show from Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington. Of course, your Hobbs Eagle halftime report, too. I'm having to remember to, covering both of them tonight. Thanks for being with us, whether you're listening on Cool 95.7 or Z94 KZOR, watching on the Hobbs Sports YouTube channel, or the Lovington Sports YouTube channel. You see all those sponsors across the bottom. Thanks to Aaron Forster for putting those banners together. Believe me, it is not easy to get all the Hobbs and all the Lovington sponsors on the same screen at once.
I'm surprised there's anything, any space left to actually see the video with all those sponsors there.
Well, if you look right in the very middle of the screen, you got just a little bit of room. No, it's looks about like it always does, but thanks to Aaron for putting the bottom graphics together for us.
Lovington's still dangerous here. They're in the shadow of their own end zone, and they need to move out.
After the gain of 1 yard, it'll be 2nd down and 9 from the 4-yard line. Prudencio from the shotgun. Cardenas is the lone back with him. Handed off to Dallas. He's got a hole. He's up the middle. A little stutter step at the 10. Out to the 15. Drags an Eagle with him by the shoestrings and picks up 12 yards and move the chains. First down, Lovington.
Yeah, it's a big relief on both counts there. Got away from the end zone and got a first down, and got some time. They've got almost a minute and a half on the clock. They can do this.
Yep, they're going to have to. You got to think they're going to go 2-minute hurry-up offense here.
And for them, it would be amazing to go into the locker room with another score, fresh. And for the Eagles, though, that would be really tough.
It would be almost a disaster, and you've got to remember Lovington will have the ball to start the second half. They won the toss and deferred, as they're going to have to hurry up to the line. There's under 10 seconds to go. Game clock is moving again. 1:20 remaining with 4, with 3, with 2, with 1. They get it off. Hand it to Cardenas. Starts it to the right and gets it up across and around the 25-yard line. He's going to pick up 8 on the play. So now Lovington is going to, you've got to think they're going to hurry up as we are under a minute to play here.
Yeah, that was Tristan Davis and Sammy Baeza of Hobbs making the stop there. Otherwise, I think Ondellis had a few more yards in him.
So 2nd down and 2. And Lovington, again, not going into the hurry up. They know they're going to have the ball, but you'd like to make this you're already up 2 scores. You'd like to get this, if they were to score here and then score again to start the second half, that would become a 4-score swing just like that. As Cardenas kind of limping off. It's Cameron Ochoa back in. 5, 4, 3. Lovington needs to move. We're under 20 seconds to play. Good snap, hand it to Olguin. He starts it left, has a hole across the 30, out to the 35-yard line. 11 yards for Alec Olguin. And it'll move the chains. First down, Wildcats. They're 8th of the first half. You got to think they're going to get up and clock it to stop the clock.
Well, 17 seconds left here.
And nope, they're not going to clock it. I don't know why they're not coming up with more urgency.
Now they're motioning. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're waiting,
Coaches
and they're telling them roll the
clock.
Roll the clock. Play clock's running. Game clock's running. Now, I think Lovington's going to be content just to go into halftime with a 17-2 lead here. Getting the first down, and they're going to roll it with 5, with 4, with 3, with 2, with 1. And so we head to the half, 17-2. Hobbs trails the Lovington Wildcats, and we will have a Bob Thriftway coaches conversation, our very first, with head coach Josh Bailey and Dawn Morgan before we go to your Lovington Auto Supply Napa Know-How halftime show.
Hey, Coach Bailey.
How are you?
Doing great. 17-2.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice place to get into. It would look like it was all offense in the first quarter, all defense in the second quarter. What'd you see in the first half?
I just think that our guys are playing extremely hard, man. I'm super proud of them. I'm a pretty emotional guy. I made a big mistake right here going for it on 4th down, got a little aggressive, and that's okay because they have my back. We talk about faith over fear all the time, and they have faith in me just like I have faith in them.
All right, well, they look to you to lead. They're going to follow your call. All right, they're working hard. You got a lot of two-way players out there. What are you going to be doing at halftime? What's the big message to them?
The message is finish. Finish. They're going to have to dig really deep. We know this is going to be the battle. We always knew it was going to be a battle. Those guys get to sit over there and watch TV for a little while. Our guys got to flip it over. We used our timeouts throughout the entire first half trying to give them just a breather. And that's okay. I'm willing to do that because they're fighting their tail off for us. And our fans are going crazy, and I love it.
They are. That's great. Just no air horn.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. No air horn. No air horn, guys. No air horn.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Our Bob Thriftway coaches conversation. Finish. I wonder where we've heard that one before. As we head to halftime here on the blue turf of Brian Urlacher Field at Wildcat Stadium, the two bands getting ready to come out. We will take a timeout, come back with your Lovington Auto Supply Napa Know-How halftime show. Wildcat football continues in a moment on Z94 KZOR. Eagle football continues in a moment on Cool 95.7. Welcome back to Wildcat Stadium and Brian Urlacher Field. It's time for your Hobbs Eagle halftime report and your Lovington Auto Supply Napa Know-How halftime show from Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington. When you need the Napa Know-How for your car, and trust me, at some point you will, get it from the good folks at Lovington Auto Supply. Napa, get up and go. And this one started out with the Lovington Wildcats getting up and going. They scored 17 unanswered points in the first quarter and lead this one 17-2. We'll start with the numbers for the visiting Hobbs Eagles, as Hobbs with just 2 points on the board, and they have had their problems. 3 turnovers in the first half. Brock Beatty in the first half goes 5 of 11 for 75 yards, no touchdowns, and he has thrown 2 interceptions. Braddock Beatty has been his favorite target as far as reception numbers go. He's got 3 catches for 36 yards, while Gabriel Henry has a couple of catches for 40 yards. So, hold on, my math was wrong. Okay. Yeah, now it's right. 35, 75, okay. So we've got Braddock Beatty, 3 catches, 35 yards. Gabriel Henry, 2 catches for 45 yards. That gets us to the 75. It has been the O'Marion Kennedy show on the offense for the Hobbs Eagles. Kennedy is slicing and dicing his way through the Lovington defense. He's got 6 carries for 99 yards in the first half. Seamus Wright has had some pretty productive running too. 3 carries for just 5 yards, but those have been a tough 5 yards. Henry had 1 carry on an end around for 1 yard, and Brock Beatty, he's had some problems. He's been sacked 5 times in the first half, loses 45 yards to those sacks, quite a few over his head. Just a little center quarterback exchange trouble. He only has 1 positive, a 5-yard quarterback keeper, but he's lost 45 yards due to those 5 sacks. So 75 through the air. When you total it all up, it winds up being 60 on the ground, 135 total yards for Hobbs. They were whistled 8 times in the first half for 65 yards and penalties. They are winning the first down battle, as they had 8 first downs in that first half. The only score they got on the board was the safety late in that second quarter, which gets them their 2 on the board. Turning the page for the Lovington Wildcats, Matthew Prudencio getting his first start as the Wildcats signal caller. Goes 6 of 10 for 36 yards, 1 touchdown. That coming to Cameron Ochoa, 7-yarder. And no interceptions. So receiver, his favorite one, Elijah Rivero, 2 catches for 16 yards. So we mentioned the 1 catch for Ochoa for 7 yards, and it was good for a touchdown. Patrick Sanchez and Alec Olguin each with a catch, 8 yards for each one of them. On the ground, Dallas Cardenas carried the load 7 times for 45 yards, including a rushing touchdown that started the scoring in this ball game. Cameron Ochoa's found it hard going, but he's got 17 yards on 5 carries. Alec Olguin in late in the first as just kind of a quick replacement. Well, he reeled off a quick 11-yard run in the first half. Prudencio has been sacked 3 times. He carried 4 times, negative 10 yards, 3 of those off of the sacks, and then Patrick Sanchez on an end around with a 15-yarder. So you got 36 through the air, 78 collectively on the ground, 114 total yards for Lovington in that first half. They were whistled 3 times for 30 yards in the penalty department. They had 8 first downs, tied in the first down department, and 17 points in the first, no points in the second. So Hobbs leading in the total yardage category, but unfortunately a lot of penalties and 3 turnovers have really spelt doom for Hobbs in the first half. I have a feeling Coach Ken Stevens is probably turning Roswell red right now over in the multi-purpose center and in the locker room. Yeah, going over things with his charges. Still anybody's ball game here from Wildcat Stadium. Opener of the season for both squads. We will be back in just a couple of minutes with your Lovington Auto Supply Napa Know-How keys to the second half. Wildcats and the Eagles play here on Cool 95.7 and Z94 KZOR. Welcome back to your Lovington Auto Supply Napa Know-How halftime show from Lovington Auto Supply. I'm TJ Miracle, Don Morgan Fieldside, Ron Gunter keeping an eye on the tech, running the camera tonight. And so as we do for every Lovington home game, from Lovington Auto Supply, your Lovington Auto Supply Napa Know-How keys to the second half. What are you thinking, Don?
Lovington's going to have to really control, not make as many penalties, not give as much away to the Eagles as they have. The Eagles, of course, are going to want to try to push things, and Lovington is going to come down to a lot of conditioning. You heard the coach talk about something that we mentioned in the second quarter, and that is, all of the two-way players that Lovington has, while Hobbs, can stay fresh over there and have fresh legs. Lovington is struggling, so it's really going to come down to see how well they hold up, because on offense and defense there are so many players spending a lot of not just time but energy on the field, and we're just gonna see how well they hold up. And again, Lovington got to contain and control themselves and play with that aggression, that energy, that momentum, that spirit. They play with all of that, but they're gonna have to control that and not make mistakes and draw penalties that are costly. And also, it's been a long time since Lovington scored. I mean, they drew blood early. They were on a roll. They had lots of great offensive momentum. They put 17 points on the board, and then they went quiet as far as offensive production went. So those are the things Hobbs is probably looking at, saying, yeah, we only have 2 points on the board, but Lovington hasn't scored since fairly early on in the first quarter. So there are some things there that Lovington needs to watch for and build on, and some things that the Eagles also are going to look at and think we can exploit this and take advantage of that, and try to wear them down and have them make mistakes on tired legs, tired brains, and see if they can't come through. Hobbs's offense came through and spent a lot more time, with on the field in that second quarter than Lovington's did. So even though they didn't score, the Hobbs Eagles have a little bit of momentum, something to build on and grow on when they come out. Even though they won't have the football, Lovington will. And I think it's going to be really important for Lovington to try to get on the board early on in this third quarter, like they did in the first.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. If they can get this out to a 3-score game, it becomes a little bit different if you're the Hobbs Eagles. Keys to the second half from where I'm sitting up here. If you're Lovington, you're right. Control. But that control means you need to have a couple of long, sustained drives. Yeah, if you can get one play and a touchdown, great. You don't want to turn this into a track meet if you're Lovington. Hobbs with a much, much deeper bench. So Lovington, control the ball, control the time, control the pace of the game. Hey, as long as you get 3 yards at a whack, 2.5 yards at a whack, actually, you can keep the ball moving and move it down. They've had some success when they have run the ball. They've had some success through the air too, but much more on the ground, 78 rushing yards in that first half. So control the ball, get your defense time to catch their breath. You take more energy playing defense than you do offense. If you're Hobbs, you said it, Don, they have to push. And I think Coach Stevens and his staff are smart enough to know, hey, wait a minute, we're a lot deeper than they are. They've got some talent. We know they've got some talent. We know they can do some damage, but we've got to come out and we have got to punish them and push them. We've got to push them to the edge and over the edge, and we've got to fix our own mistakes. Hobbs doesn't have 3 turnovers in that first half and 5 sacks. I'm not sure what we're looking at here. Hobbs is going to look at that first half as a matter of what if. And if they can clean up the exchange between the center and the quarterback, and a couple of times the quarterback and his running backs, that could spell trouble for the Lovington Wildcats as we get into the second half of this one. As we're still waiting for the teams to come back out of their respective locker rooms, the Big Eagle is inflated once again. The Big Wildcat inflated once again. The Big Blue Band, I noticed, did not perform tonight. The Eagle Band did and did a fantastic job. And so the Hobbs Band, I guess, won halftime officially because they're the only ones who performed.
Well, Lovington, I don't know what the story is. If I get a chance, I'll drift back and ask the band director about that. They might just be still putting their marching show together. Sometimes with a smaller band, it's a little more challenging, to put that together and to have the time to work on that. Frankly, I'll bet the Hobbs band probably came back earlier, before the end of the summer, and maybe put a little bit more time in, and were able to do that, and they just might have that much more of an advantage. You'll notice, though, I think the Hobbs band didn't do their full show. I think it's a work in progress. They're still working on it.
Well, I remember being back in high school. Yes, I played football, but I was also in the band, and the first couple of games we do, half of the show or a third of the show,
right,
and build it up as you continue to move through the season. But two great band programs, the Big Blue Band and the Hobbs Eagle Marching Band, both fantastic bands, and our hats off to those kids and the players in them as well. So the teams in their respective tunnels getting ready to come out and warm up for the second half. So we will wrap up your Hobbs Eagle halftime report and your Lovington Auto Supply Napa Know-How halftime show. The Wildcats and the Eagles starting off the 2024 season from here at Wildcat Stadium. Lovington Auto Supply Napa Know-How halftime show from Lovington Auto Supply, 217 West Avenue D in Lovington. When you need the Napa Know-How for your car, and trust me, at some point you will, get it from the good folks at Lovington Auto Supply. Kickoff of the second half is right around the corner. This is Lovington Wildcat football on KZOR and Hobbs Eagle football on Cool 95.7. Back here getting ready for the start of the second half. Home opener and the season opener for the Lovington Wildcats and the season opener for the Hobbs Eagles. I'm TJ Miracle. Don Morgan fieldside, Ron Gunter helping us with the tech and the camera tonight. And thanks to the Walls family, got a text message and a notification that was the Lovington band performing. I guess when I looked up, I just completely spaced the difference between the white and the black. So thank you for the correction there to Lovington, the Wildcat band. Nice job for them, and it's a high end over-ender, and we are underway in the second half. Lovington will have the football as coming across the 10 to the 15 and out to near the 20-yard line on the return. So the Wildcats will have it 1st and 10 from the 20. A lot of hard running there for Ryan Weiser to, go ahead and get knocked down. And where you'd have had it if it would have been a touchback.
And like you, I was doing other things and not really watching or listening. And with them wearing the T-shirts and not uniforms, again, I'm like you. I heard what you said. I just went along with you there.
But, I was thinking it had been Hobbs, but
yeah.
But thanks to the Wallses again, I think everybody on the planet has my cell phone number, so that's okay. We want to be correct, and we have corrected ourselves. So trips to the left, one to the right, and they will flip it to Olguin on the end around, and Hobbs not buying that one at all, and nowhere for Alec to go, and he's down all the way back at the 12-yard line. He is going to lose 8 yards as good trailing play there for the Hobbs Eagles, and Kyrian Royal on that one, and Alec goes backwards. It's 2nd down and 18. Yowza.
Yeah, not exactly. Lovington needs to come out really strong, firing with that energy, that explosiveness that they had at the beginning of the game. And I know that's hard to do on tired legs and sweaty bodies, but they're going to have to try to come up with that here and really make some noise and get on the board if they can.
Cardenas the lone back in the backfield with Prudencio. Matthew with time, 2-step drop, throws it over to the far sideline and incomplete. As sliding in, trying to get to that one was Rivero. Good coverage by the Hobbs Eagles, but it'll be incomplete. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 18. Lovington needing a sustained drive. We talked about it in the halftime show. Lovington wanting and needing sustained drives.
They kind of came out at the beginning of the game and surprised Hobbs, really punched him in the mouth, and were able to get up on the board. And then we talked about it's been a long drought since then, at least in scoring wise.
Well, and Hobbs' defense has a little bit to do with that. They've really tightened up, so credit to them. Trips to the right side, single receiver to the left. Good snap, Prudencio with it, throws it across the middle, has it to Rivero. He's back out across the 15 to the 20, and then he is blasted by one of the linebackers or safeties coming over. That was Tristan Davis, who came over and blasted Elijah. That'll be his 2nd catch of the day, and it is good. 3rd catch of the day. And it's good for 8 yards. So they got back what they lost, but it'll be 4th down and punt time for the Cats. 4th and 10 from the 20.
That was one of those stops where there was an eagle down low from one direction and then the eagle up high from the other direction, and you just got sheared in two almost.
Rivero 3 catches for 24 yards, and punt time now for Lovington. Cavaria back deep to receive for the Eagles, and whistles sound and flags fly. And I think we've got false start on Lovington. Yes, we do. So move them back 5 yards. You don't want to give Hobbs even more yardage, but that's exactly what they're going to do. So Hobbs going to look to take advantage here. They're going to have great field position.
They are, and Lovington just coming out very quiet. Even the Lovington fans are, a little quiet here, and it's not to Lovington's advantage the way things are starting. Ooh,
high snap. It's handled, and a good punt gotten away by, I believe that was Aranda. And it'll go out of bounds in Wildcat territory at about the 47, 48-yard line. Going to wind up being about a 36, 37-yard punt, and it was a short punt that gave Lovington a short field on their first possession of the ball game and let them go on that 17-0 run. So now Hobbs going to try and take advantage of a similar situation here. They move it to the 46-yard line, so it's officially a 31-yard punt. And so Hobbs with a short field to work with and good field position with 10:13 to go here in the 3rd. 17-2, Lovington in the lead, but Hobbs has got to be smelling a little blood in the water.
And we will see how much gas in the tank Lovington's D has right now.
Lovington goes with 3 men across the front, a 3-receiver set for Hobbs. Hand it off, and the Turf Monster going to get Seamus Wright on that one.
Yeah,
pardon me, that was Kennedy. So he's going to lose a yard on it.
Yeah, his feet kind of went out in front of him.
Yeah, hit a spot in the turf, and that's the 2nd time the Turf Monster is going to get credit on Kennedy. Actually, I think credit is going to go to Valente Herrera. So it'll be 2nd down and 11, 9:45 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Hobbs trying to chip away at a 15-point Wildcat lead. Another bad snap. Beatty has to pick it up back at his own 45. Has time now, though. Steps up, and he's just going to run as he's got some room across the 40, and then the ball is out. Lovington says they've got it. A flag on the play. We'll have a hold, but if it's a turnover, Lovington, I've got to think, is going to take it. Yeah, they would decline the penalty, I've got to think.
Instead.
Yeah, take the fumble. But
Man,
Beatty had all day, and Weiser came over and jarred him.
And Weiser is kind of limping a little bit as he comes off to the sidelines.
So let's see what the call on the field's going to be, and it'll be holding on Hobbs. And they did get the football back. They're going to say they recovered it. But it'll still be the 10-yard penalty. And so that moves Hobbs back, and that happened right about the original line of scrimmage. That is the 9th penalty on the Eagles for 75 yards, and it goes from 2nd and 11 to 2nd and 21. But credit where credit is due. Beatty, a bad snap, tucked it up off the turf and did a pump fake, and that kind of froze the defensive backs for just a second, and he realized, hey, there's a whole lot of blue turf with no white hats on it. I'm going.
Yes, but right as he made that decision, Lovington's D, they turned around and started to swarm him.
And then the hold happened, so that didn't help. So 2nd and 21. Hobbs back in their own territory from the 43-yard line. Beatty, good snap this time. Throws the wide receiver screen to the far side with a little bit of running room over there. That is Henry again. And he's going to get it up to about see where they put him. 43 out to about the 47-yard line. It'll be a 5-yard completion to Henry. And so that'll bring up 3rd down and 16. So now it'll be 3rd down and 16. Lovington's D trying to come up big again. Clock moves with 8:45 to go in the 3rd. Lovington with the 15-point lead, 17-2.
Caleb Aranda over here on the sideline, warming up his leg, by the way.
Good snap this time. Beatty with it, has time. Pressure comes, throws it underneath. Has a man back at the 45 and on his feet and moving and grooving is Chavarria. And he's going to have almost first down yardage. It's going to be close depending on the spot. Chavarria with a huge move and shaked and baked and moved it down the near side as they picked on Aiden Nunez right there. And they give it to him. He needed 16. They give him 17 and move the chains. First down, Eagles.
And Chavarria, that little hesitation move was just the perfect amount of time. It bought him just the right amount of time.
1st and 10 for the Eagles. Hobbs inside Lovington territory at the 35. Hand it off to Seamus Wright. Gets out of one, then spins it back to the right side. He's got some room. Gets a block inside the 20. Down to the 15-yard line. Seamus Wright moving and grooving. And he's going to get, let's see, that's going to be 10, 15, 17, 18 yards for Seamus Wright.
And I think he
10th
ran
first down for Hobbs.
I think he ran about 36 laterally before he was able to turn and make that yardage. He was really trying to, run for the end and make that corner and outrun Lovington.
From the 16 officially, Twins left, Twins right. Ooh, trying to get the jump on that far sideline was Braddock Beatty. So that'll cost him 5 yards. 10th penalty on the Eagles now for 80 yards. So it'll be 2nd down and 15. The penalties have definitely hurt the Hobbs Eagles in this one. And Lovington trying to take advantage of every single one of them. So a 5A, 6A battle. Lovington 5A now. Hobbs still a 6A team. Lovington trying to get the crowd fired up. Trips receivers to the left side. This time Lovington goes in a man defense look. Going to stack up the linebackers on the near side. Beatty pulls it off the turf, throws it to the left side, and in and out of the hands of Beatty. And, we got a late hit in the backfield. They're not going to call it. They're going to say continuation from Kevin Reyes-Padilla. But he was real close to getting the roughing the quarterback penalty on Beatty. So it'll just be an incompletion, and it'll be 2nd down and 15.
Good moves on the sideline over there, too, by Sanchez.
One thing we have not seen in this ballgame, we have not had any personal fouls. We've had some pass interference, but so far they've played it pretty clean. as far as that goes. Trips left, single receiver to the right. Beatty with it, steps up in the pocket. Pump fake right now. He goes right, has a man wide open and streaking into the end zone. Put 6 on the board. Touchdown for the Eagles. Beatty to Beatty from 21 yards out, and Hobbs strikes first in the second half.
Nobody on him. He was just out in the open, free and clear, and what a nice little toss. That was a really great connection made.
With their brothers, I have a feeling they've practiced that one in the backyard.
Yeah, it was just a really nice little toss, and no hesitation, no doubt about it, on either end.
So now the point after is up, and that one will pop through. And with 7:40 remaining in the third quarter, Hobbs has their first touchdown of the season. Lovington 17, Hobbs 9. We're back in a minute on Cool 95.7 and Z94 KZOR. A blown coverage for the Wildcats turns into 6 for the Hobbs Eagles. The point after is good. 21 yards from Beatty to Beatty. And now we got a ball game. Lovington 17, Hobbs 9. Welcome back to Lovington as the kickoff is away, and that one is a high end over-ender, and O'Gean just going to watch that one through the end zone. And Lovington will take it over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Well, Lovington's offense has just got to catch fire again. They have got to reignite and get something going and try to, as you said, try to kind of stretch this offensive possession out. That's really not Lovington's style. When we were talking that at halftime, I was thinking, you know, that's really good in theory, but Lovington is really more about the energy and the quick strike and going for it and being kind of patient is it's harder for them. It's harder for them, just trying to be controlled and take their time and be patient.
5 receivers set, trips to the right, twins to the left. Hobbs shows blitz, Prudencio with it, pressured, tosses it right over the middle, has a man as that is Cardenas who has it out at the 42-yard line. It is 22 yards to Dallas Cardenas and move the chains. First down, Wildcats.
And that was a beautiful throw, and Cardenas was right where he was supposed to be. I mean, and he leaped up just a little bit. He's so athletic. He just has that natural spring, and he just kind of leaped up.
Castro
Beautiful.
On the stop and almost a horse collar there, but got away with it. So 22 yards. 9th first down of the ball game for Lovington. Still leading this one by 8 with 7:15 to go in the third. Trips to the left, twins to the right. Hobbs shows blitz once again. Good protection. Throw the little underneath route. It'll be complete on the far side across the 50 to the 40. Flag flies on the play as Rivero gets it, and then the ball pops out, and the Eagles say they have it. But I think we're going to have a flag before
already.
that. We'll have to see. I think we've got a hold down the field, though.
And I really think he was down before the ball squirted out.
Down before the ball squirted out. And
he's actually down on the turf.
He is slow to get up. Rivero,
that
would be a huge loss as Elijah took off. I mean, that's 10, that's 20. I mean, that's 33 yards if it stands. I don't think it's going to stand because I think we've got to hold down the field. It'll be 10 yards from the spot.
And what you don't, it's hard to see.
Yeah, and it will be an offensive hold. So let's see what the call for sure is going to be. Is Rivero still down? It is holding on the Wildcats. And they're going to decline it, and so it'll be Hobbs football. So Rivero is going to get the 33 yards, but it will be the second turnover for Lovington.
Ooh. Of course, that took place on the far sideline. It's really hard for us over here to really see what's happening.
So the fumble by Ribeiro, who got blown up on that far sideline, jarred the ball loose. And now Hobbs with a chance to maybe score and maybe tie the game on this possession.
A shame for Lovington, as they were starting to get that offensive that spark, and now the Eagles have done their job to sort of extinguish that, and now see what they can do.
From the Hobbs,
7:02 left in this third quarter.
From the Hobbs Eagle 35-yard line, Hobbs football after the Lovington fumble. Beatty with the low snap, pump fake to the right, looks back to the left, now rolls right, pressure, throws it down the left sideline, and just going to have to throw that one away. Good pressure for Lovington. Incomplete, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
And Lovington's defense really, Lovington really frustrated by the result of that play. And they're feeling it and showing it by putting that energy into the defense here.
Coach Bailey signaling out what he wants the defense to do. Defensive coaches signaling out what they expect. On 2nd down and 10, 6:50 remaining in the third. Hobbs going to send twin receivers to the left side, twins to the right. Kennedy is the deep back with Beatty. Beatty sends Beatty in motion to the slot, left side. Hand it off. Pardon me, that's Seamus Wright. Huge hole up the middle, and he's going to get about 8 yards before he kind of trips and slips and falls. Kyler Reeves going to get the tackle credit, but it's 8 yards to Wright.
Yeah, some misdirection there. That was a really good fake, and Lovington bid on it and gave a little extra time for the Eagles to develop that and get some yardage out of it.
Give him 9 officially, 32 yards on 5 carries for Seamus Wright. And you just feel the momentum starting to shift in the favor of the Eagles. 3 men up front for Lovington. Twins to the right, single receiver to the left, split backs in the backfield. Beatty pump fake, comes near side, has a man at the 50, spins out of trouble. Gabe Henry again, and he's going to be out near the Lovington 40-yard line. That's going to be 6, 11, 12, 13 yards to Henry and move the chains for the Eagles.
Lovington again, a little slow getting up out of that.
58 receiving yards on 4 catches for Gabriel Henry. Now 131 through the air for Brock Beatty, and timeout on the field as Lovington. Oh, we've got a man down.
Yes, and I said a little slow getting up out of that. And I can't tell who that is, but I think it may be a leg cramp, a muscle cramp. It's either that or that left knee that they're working on.
Well, you certainly hope it is just a cramp, and we've started this game. I mean, it was 100 degrees basically, 99 at the start of this game, and it's even hotter down on the turf. If you're not staying properly hydrated and doing what you need to do, that can lead to cramps. So while we've got a moment, of course, like to say a big thank you to all the great folks who make Wildcat football and Hobbs Eagle football possible. You can see them all there at the bottom of your screen. A quick note, other scores from around Lee County tonight. Late in the fourth quarter up in Tatum, the Coyotes are taking it to the Escalante Lobos 46-22. Late in the third, it is Dexter all over Jowl 44-7. And also in the third quarter, Eunice taking it to Ruidoso in a 2A, 3A matchup. Eunice winning that one 35-6. Back here at Wildcat Stadium for the Battle of Lee County, 17-9. Lovington in the lead as everybody up, and Cardenas up and good, and getting a little different hydration in him.
Alec O'Gean down, kind of still getting worked on, getting hydrated as well. That's O'Gean. They're working on that.
Give it to Wright, and he'll fly out to the left side. He gets away from 1, gets away from 2, and hit from behind by Kyler Reeves and dropped, but not before a pickup of about 7. Yep, we'll call it 7. 39 yards for Wright. With Wright and Kennedy, it's kind of the old thunder and lightning from the New York Giants. Take Wright was a flyer. He would be the lightning. Kennedy will just take it right up your gut. He's the thunder. So now it'll be 2nd down and 3. 5.5 to go in the third. Good snap. Beatty with it. Fakes the handoff. Looks to throw. Goes to the far sideline. Has a man. And again, it is going to be Henry, and it's complete up at the 26-yard line. 10 yards to Henry, and another Hobbs Eagle first down.
Yeah, and he saw exactly where he was, knew exactly where he was when he caught that. He looked down and made sure both feet were in by just about a foot.
and then he went out of bounds, but good body control there for Gabriel Henry. I think the Eagles may have found a receiving weapon in that young man. Come out, trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Beatty goes over, and he goes to Henry once again. Cuts it back at the 20, back to the 15-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 11 to Henry this time, and another Eagle first down. They've got 13 in the ball game.
And again, going to that right side and having success on that Eagle offense. Lovington kind of a little weak on that side.
And especially if they don't have Alec Olguin and
That's right.
And on Dallas Cardenas, hand it off to right, starts it to the left, brings it back right, gets to the 10-yard line. Pick up a 4 for Seamus Wright before he is brought down. Valente Herrera on that stop, also Kevin Padilla. But Wright starting to rack up some yards now, 7 carries for 43 yards.
And Olguin
38 of those coming here in this third quarter.
Olguin still on his back on the sidelines, getting that left calf stretched out. I think he's going to be all right. He just needs some stretching.
2nd and 6. Beatty looks left. Now he rolls to the right. Just going to tuck it, take it himself. He's got room, and he will dance it into the end zone. 6 on the board. Fly into it. Hobbs, Eagle touchdown. Beatty on the rollout keeper from 10 yards out. Brock Beatty gets Hobbs to within 2. So now 17-15 is the score. The point after to come. Now the question is, Coach Ken Stevens going to go for 2, or is he going to kick the extra point? He's showing extra point. Watch for the fake here if you're Lovington. The snap is good, and they will fake it, and they will get it to Kennedy, and he's dragging guys with him, but he is brought down before he can get it in, and so Lovington sniffs it out as Joaquin Vasquez will get the tackle, and so Hobbs tries to tie this one up with 4:37 remaining in the third. We got a barn burner. Lovington 17, Hobbs 15. Wildcat and Eagle football continue in a moment. On the kickoff, it'll be Olguin. He will take it all the way back at the 5. Brings it out to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30. Over to the 30-yard line before he is ripped down. Pardon me, that was Paul Sanchez. So Hobbs takes advantage of a Lovington Wildcat turnover and drives it down 65 yards and punches it into the end zone on the quarterback keeper by Brock Beatty. The 2-point conversion attempt, no good. So now it'll be Lovington football out from the 29-yard line. 4:29 to go in the third. They are hanging on to a 2-point lead. They have not scored since the first quarter. Hobbs has put 15 unanswered up on the board. This is the time when Lovington needs to answer.
They've definitely got to answer right here. It's really important that momentum shift you talked about still in the Eagles' favor.
Send a man in motion. That's Sanchez, and they will hand it off to Cardenas, and he goes into the middle. Now he tries to bounce it back outside. He's across the 30 to the 32-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain for Dallas.
You know, that's one way to get to an extra yard or two is just hang on and let the other team somersault you along for an extra yard or two like they did.
Hey, all you need is 3 yards at a time. 3 yards in a cloud of dust football, what we used to call it in West Texas, and 3 yards in a cloud of dust will get you first downs and burn a lot of clock.
A cloud of blue beads down here on the artificial surface.
That's true. We haven't seen a cloud of dust in a long time. Send Kyler Reeves in motion. He'll go over to the tight end position on the right side. They'll move that right side with Cardenas, and he's going to get to the 35, and he is hit hard as Tristan Davis has really started to come into his own here in this second half, and they're going to give him to the 36-yard line. So it will be another pickup of 3. So 3rd down and 4 now for the Wildcats. 9 carries, 51 yards for Cardenas. Is Lovington trying to control the ball and control the time. They want to try and take the air out of Hobbs a little bit here.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Is they can do this and just deflate Hobbs just a bit here on this possession. And
bunch everybody in tight. Cardenas goes out, leaks out into the flat.
Yes.
Throw it over the middle. It'll be complete to the 40-yard line. Good pass, and they will get that into Patrick Sanchez. So Patrick will have it. It's good for 7 yards and move the chains. 1st down, Wildcats, their 10th first down of the ball game. Right at the 40-yard line now.
As the clock continues to roll, we're under 3 minutes now in this 3rd quarter. And Lovington's still up by 2. If they could increase that, that's really gonna help them along.
You have to get points on this possession some way, somehow.
And the Eagles, what they want to do is, of course, keep that from happening.
Twins to the left, twins to the right. Cardenas is the deep back. Ooh, and that'll be false start as Prudencio wanted it, and a little bit of delay on that one. False start on the Wildcats. That'll be their 5th penalty for 40 yards. Their 2nd penalty in the quarter, and we've seen this over the years, Don. Lovington will kind of start getting things rolling a little bit, and then a bad penalty at a bad time will just kind of take the wheels off. Certainly hope it doesn't now, and we've got another score update, a final. And thanks to Ron for getting that right about the same time that Tiff and Evie did. Tatum victorious over Escalante tonight. 46-30 the final in that one up in Tatum on the Tatum Sports YouTube channel. So that'll be 1st down and 15, man in motion. And, yep, we've got a man in motion while the ball was going. False start on Lovington. You have to be stopped in order to snap the ball. This ain't Canadian football, unfortunately.
So now Lovington is in that space that Hobbs was in early on in the game. Hobbs really had a hard time just getting anything going.
Yes, they did. And you're listening to the Lovington Wildcats on Z94, KZOR Hobbs Lovington. And the Hobbs Eagles on KLEA Hobbs, Cool 95.7. So now 1st down and 20 for the Eagles, or rather for the Wildcats. Doing what Hobbs did in the 1st quarter. 1:50 remaining here in the 3rd.
They can't afford to stall out. Gotta reignite.
Trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Fake the handoff, and now they'll leak it out. Just a little screen pass to the 30, 35, and out to the 37-yard line.
That's Jaden Gutierrez.
Jaden Gutierrez, his first catch of the night, and he's going to pick up. They got most of the penalty yardage back. It'll be 12 yards to Jaden. 118 through the air now for Prudencio, and it'll be 2nd down and 12. That was a good play right there. They have not started the play clock. They just started the play clock. So Lovington can run this down. I think that's what they need to do. Twins left, twins to the right. Cardenas in the backfield, send a man in motion. That is Gutierrez. Good snap. Throw it out, get it to Cardenas in the flat. He's hit in the backfield, and he'll get it up to the 40s. He got away from the first, but couldn't get away from Davis flying over to pop him once again. It'll be a 2-yard completion to Cardenas, and now it is 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, and Castro was kind of right there in position to help on the stop at the end as well.
So now 3rd down and 10. 35 seconds on the game clock, 24 seconds on the play clock. Lovington will have to run at least one more play. Come out with a 4-receiver set. Twins left, twins right from the far hash mark. Lovington moving to the south. Encio back to pass, throws it across the middle, has a man across midfield, and out in the Hobbs territory at the 46-yard line, and Gutierrez has it and moved the chains. 1st down Cats. That's 16 yards to Gutierrez. 11th 1st down for the Lovington Wildcats. 136 through the air for Prudencio. 28 on 2 catches for Gutierrez, and Lovington just going to run this one out, and we will head to the 4th quarter. We got a good one here in Lovington. Wildcats 17, Eagles 15. Back in 1 minute for the 4th quarter on Cool 95.7 and Z94 KZOR. Back here at Wildcat Stadium for the start of the fourth quarter. Hobbs Eagles scoring 13 unanswered so far in the second half, and they've climbed back to within 2. But Lovington, after Jaden Gutierrez makes his presence felt in the receiving corps, has Lovington inside Hobbs territory. 17-15 in the Battle of Lee County. Lovington right now in the lead and with the ball to start the fourth quarter. Ron Gunner.
And you can probably hear as the players on the sideline here are urging the fans to really make some noise and get into this.
Put guys in tight. Send Reeves in motion from the right to the left. Prudencio with it, steps back, has good protection, throws it near side, and just led Reeves way too far. Don Morgan on the sideline. Ron Gunner helping with the tech and spotting up here and running the camera. I'm TJ Miracle. In for Ty Friend on the Hobbs side of thing. Unfortunately, Don, I don't think
over my head.
I don't think you're an eligible receiver.
I am an ineligible receiver, right?
Although you did get
I can't try.
You did get a helmet sticker last year from Denver City when you made that tackle on the sideline.
And let me tell you, receiving is a lot more fun than getting tackled.
Send Reeves in motion from the right to the left. He'll come over to the left side, tight end position. Now they're going to split Cardenas out. And Prudencio just going to keep it himself, and he is hit at the line, nowhere to go, and hit right as he took off. Sammy Baeza, he's had some pretty good tackles. No gain on the quarterback keeper for Prudencio. And it'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Wildcats. Not the time they want to stall out. So Baeza having that one sniffed out. I think Lovington, they had men in motion and would stop and then send another man in motion. I think maybe they just need to settle it down a little bit here. You're still up by 2. You're 40 seconds gone in the fourth quarter. Twins left, Twins to the right. Cardenas is the lone back in the backfield with Prudencio. Matthew with it. Blitz comes, steps up in the pocket, throws it across the middle.
Beautiful.
Has a man at the 35, to the 30, to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Gutierrez at the 3. But this one's coming back. We've got a hold behind the line. As they call the touchdown, Jaden Gutierrez, unfortunately, I think it is coming back.
Yep, I see the flag right there at the 49-yard line.
So this one will be coming back as the Hobbs coaches are like, yep, bring it back. Gutierrez, a beautiful pitch and catch, but unfortunately maybe it was that hold that let him get that open. And so that'll wipe it off the field, and it will be actually personal foul.
Ooh.
Face mask on Hobbs. Declined, and 6 on the board. Touchdown, Wildcats. 42 yards, Jaden Gutierrez, and Lovington up 23-15.
Oh, yes, I think we decline that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I would say that you would. 70 yards for Gutierrez on 3 catches, and it'll be Caleb Aranda on to attempt the extra point. And so the first personal foul of the ball game is waved off, and it results in a 42-yard Wildcat touchdown. And it's the penalties on Hobbs that they've got to just be thinking about, as the side judge coming over and waving it off, and Coach Stevens is fired up on the far sideline.
He is. He has the ear. One of the refs turned around watching and listening.
I think he's probably chewing on that ear. I'm pretty sure that you're supposed to throw a flag for that. Is Coach going to come over and Coach Bailey going to come over and ask, hey, can you assess that on the kickoff? I don't think you can if you decline it. Oh, and they're telling Lovington they need to get back within the box a little bit better. So a sideline warning issued to the Wildcats. They're excited. They're happy.
Yep, but they have to be careful because the second one is
the second warning is a 15-yarder.
Yep.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the bench. So Aranda on to attempt the extra point. New holder in the ball game for the Cats. That's Ochoa, I believe.
Flag,
we're going to have false start on Lovington, and that's going to happen. Alec Olguin is normally the holder, but he's still not feeling too good down there. And actually, that's Javian Pondo, to hold it. No, it's encroachment Hobbs. Okay. So that'll be half the distance. I hate writing those down. I'm not going to write it down. Just help me remember in the postgame show. because it's a 1-yard penalty. I'll just make a note of it right here and add it in later. So a 1-yard penalty, Hobbs' 11th penalty of the ball game. So out of the hold of Pondo, Aranda will try again, and Hobbs comes in again. And so you can't really write down a half yard on this, as Hobbs is coming at this with everything. And offsides on the Eagles, half the distance to the goal. I guess you keep moving at half the distance to the goal. Eventually, until you get to the goal. Unfortunately, it gets to the point where eventually it can't go anymore. The ball is on about the 6-inch line now.
And that becomes a more difficult kick, actually.
Well, it changes your angle. You're right in the middle.
The trajectory,
but you might want to think about just a quick snap and go over the center here with Pondo. So we'll try for the third time. Pondo with it. The kick is up and blasted through, and the field goal, the point after, I should say, is good, but we got a flag on the play. I have a feeling we're going to have an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the team in black and gold. So we'll see. We'll keep it right here until we get the call. So we'll just wait and see. If it's on Hobbs, it'll be assessed on the kickoff. Which, if that's the case and you're Lovington, you might want to think about doing an onside kick. So we're waiting. We will have personal foul on Hobbs. Unsportsmanlike, well, just a personal foul. They haven't signaled what it is, but it's on Hobbs, and it will be assessed on the kickoff. So that'll be a 15-yard penalty on the Eagles. Now 95 penalty yards on Hobbs. So we'll just keep it right here with 11:17 remaining here in the ball game. Lovington 24, Hobbs 15. Hobbs Eagle football on Cool 95.7, the Cool 95.7 app, HobbsAmerica.com, and the Hobbs Sports YouTube channel, brought to you by TDS, Forest Tire Company, Lee County State Bank, Master Plumbers, Divine Energy Services, the Miko Companies, Devon Energy, Lasco Construction, Hobbs Express, Miko Services, NMR Pipeline, Eunice Pump and Supply, E&MU, and the First American Bank of Hobbs. For the Lovington Wildcats here on Z94 KZOR, the Z94 KZOR app, Lovington Sports YouTube, brought to you by the Lee County Electric Cooperative, Master Plumbers, Lovington Auto Supply, Napa, the Miko Companies, First American Bank of Lovington, Stone Oilfield Services, Devon Energy, Lovington Schools, Man Welding, Miko Services, Eunice Pump and Supply, E&MU. They are enrolling right now. You can still get late enrollment there, and also by our friends at Bob's Thriftway. So move the ball up all the way into Hobbs territory for the kickoff. Caleb just going to boom it on through. He may have kicked the field goal from there. Yep, unfortunately you don't get 3 points for that. But so it's the equivalent of a 55-yard field goal, but unfortunately you don't get points for it. It just comes out to the 20.
Man, he has so much leg. I mean, that thing looked like it was going to float toward Tatum.
And we have been told, Coach Bailey did tell me that he has decided not to play soccer this year and is concentrating on his football kicking. So big addition for the Wildcats, and something tells me with his leg, and he's very accurate, he may be getting some looks at the next level. So Hobbs will have it 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line, trailing by 9 with 11:17 remaining in the ball game. Beatty with twins in the backfield with him, Kennedy and Wright. Low snap, handles it, tosses it, goes into the flat on the far side, has a man across the 25 out to the 27-yard line, as that is going to be complete to Chavarria for 7, his second catch of the ball game, and it's 2nd down and 3. Hobbs can go warp speed, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. So Beatty gets it, and flags fly, and it'll be false start on Hobbs.
That's
100 penalty yards on the Eagles.
That's the risk of the hurry-up offense, is that you're going to go too fast, and not everybody is going to get the memo.
If you're Hobbs, you don't need to really go into the Captain Kirk work speed offense yet. You've still got 10:53 to go, and you just wiped out a whole lot of good there, and you go from 2nd and 3 to 2nd and 9, basically. As wanting it all, Beatty goes down the far sideline and just overthrows his intended target. If Chavarria doesn't kind of stumble a little bit there, he had a step. He got behind the Lovington secondary. He would have been gone, and that was a great throw by Beatty. but just a little stumble on the far side, and that let it become an overthrow, incomplete. It's 3rd down and 8.
Jaden Gutierrez.
So Gutierrez with letting the man get behind him. Chavarria with some wheels down there. So split backs in the backfield. Big 3rd down for the Hobbs Eagles with Kennedy and Wright in the backfield. Fake the handoff. Beatty to pass. Coverage breaks down. Comes back. He's hit from behind. He goes down. Ball is out at the 20. And the Wildcats have it. The sack from behind by Valente Herrera. And then the football is going to be picked up by Paul Sanchez. It'll be a 3-yard strip, sack, fumble, 4th turnover of the ball game for the Eagles, and give it back to Lovington.
Wow, you talk about an important 3rd down right there. And I tell you, right before that play, Coach Bailey was acting as the head cheerleader in addition to the head coach. He got up on the bleachers over here and trying to ignite the crowd, saying, 3rd down, stop. 3rd down, so got to have it right here.
And they definitely got it.
But the turnover as well.
The strip, sack, fumble.
Yeah.
And so 1st and 10 from the Hobbs 22-yard line. Wildcat football trying to take advantage of the 4th Eagle turnover. The Cats have won that battle so far. Hobbs putting everybody up on the line. Low snap. It is handled and scooped into Cardenas' hands. He's to the 15, stiff arms a man, and down to the 10-yard line. 12 yards on Dallas Cardenas. 1st down, Lovington. And one thing, when you stack the line like that and throw everything in the kitchen sink in an all-out blitz, if you've got a guy, if you can either get one block or you can break one tackle, you got a lot of room to run. And we've got a man down on the far sideline. As down again, Alec Olguin on the far side. Thank you, Ron Gunner. Oh, for Hobbs, pardon me. That's Adrian Mora.
Right.
He's had a whale of a ball game, too. So you certainly hope that that young man's okay. You hope that it's just a cramp. 10.5 to go in the ball game. Lovington knocking on the door. They'll have it 1st and goal from the 10 with the injury. And we will go ahead and take an injury timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Eagle football continues on Cool 95.7, and Wildcat football continues on KZOR. Adrian Moore is up, and he is off on the sideline. I would bet just a cramp.
Yeah, these guys are sweating so much. They're losing so much potassium, and it's so hard to replace that in a short amount of time, even as they guzzle.
Pickle juice.
Yeah, even as they guzzle everything they get their hands on with lots of salt and electrolytes. It's still tough.
They say pickle juice. I mean, that's my coaches used to my coaches used to say that in high school, and we were like, "Oh, coach, you're full of it." We did it anyway, but
it makes
now
you so
they're saying
thirsty,
that it is. It does. You just want to suck the water down too.
Oh, yeah.
It can really mess up the electrolytes. And why do we know so much about this? That scares me a little bit. Welcome back to Wildcat Stadium. 1st and goal from the 10 for the Cats, trying to take advantage of a Hobbs Eagle turnover. High snap, it is handled. Prudencio rolls to the left. Pump fake, looks for it. Freezes the secondary. Now he comes underneath. Has a man at the 3-yard line, and that is Patrick Sanchez. So it'll be a 7-yard completion to Sanchez. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 3.
That was a beautiful run by Prudencio. He had pressure on him coming the whole way. He had to come over to his left side, did a lot of dancing, kept his target in sight, and made a good throw.
And here's the thing about it, too, is he was running towards the line of scrimmage, and he let it fly right as he got to the line. If he crosses the line, it's an illegal forward pass, and it's a 5-yard penalty. But he managed to keep his toes, He wasn't behind it by much, but he kept the tootsies behind the line just enough to get it to Sanchez. So now it'll be 2nd and goal from the 3. Send a man in motion from the right to the left. Hand it off. Cardenas hit in the backfield and smothered. Hobbs was ready for that one as Mackey and Meredith come in and just absolutely blow up Dallas back at we'll call it the 7-yard line. It's a loss of 4. 59 yards on 11 carries for Ondalis Cardenas.
It's a good thing he was able to duck at the last instant and keep it from being that hard contact from both those big boys from really hitting him full speed.
In on that stop, too, and I hadn't called his name much tonight, but, yeah, I was right. Mackey and Meredith, yeah, they both had great games tonight. All of a sudden, I was thinking Meredith was wearing a different number all of a sudden. It's been a long week. Split Rivero out wide to the left. Fake the handoff, roll to the right. Throw it back across your body and knocked away.
Batted away.
Yeah, batted away at the last possible
42?
second. Yeah, Gustavo Diaz-Castro.
Yeah.
So Diaz-Castro saves the touchdown there. Incomplete, and it'll be 4th and goal from the 7. I think maybe this is where you put Aranda in. The 3 points here puts you up by 12. You're up by 9 now. That's two scores, but it becomes 2 touchdowns if you kick the field goal here. I'm okay if they go for it on 4th and goal from the 8, but I really think you might regret leaving those points on the board if you don't score here. Lovington's going to let this clock run out while they decide what to do. They are going to take a timeout. They're running the clock down. And they will take the timeout with 9:29 to go in the ball game. 4th and goal from the 8 for the Wildcats. They lead by 9. What are they going to do? We'll find out in a minute on Cool 95.7 and Z94 KZOR. Back here at Wildcat Stadium, and the Cats have elected to go for the field goal. Caleb Aranda is out. Ball spotted at the 15. It'll be a 25-yard attempt. Snap is good. Hold is good. The kick is up, and it is shanking to the right, but it is no good as it bends out with a new holder in the ball game. With Alec Olguin being a little bit banged up, they've got a new holder in and just didn't get it down. It takes a little while to get that together. So Lovington cannot take advantage of the turnover, and Hobbs has life with it on the 15-yard line. 1st down and 10, 9:25 remaining. Oh, they move it down to the 8, the line of scrimmage. That's right, not where they put the ball down for the kick. I didn't think, it's where they put the ball down for the kick. I was pretty sure of that.
Was a good idea.
And they give it all. Why did they put it at the 20? That ball should be at the 15.
I was talking about the the field goal.
Why is the ball at the 20? Was there a penalty I missed somewhere?
I don't know.
I think the ball should be at the 15-yard line where the attempt was made. But all right, anyway, Beatty back out. Split backs in the backfield. Hobbs trails by 9. 2-score ball game. Low snap. Beatty, it's on the turf. Manages to pick it up, but now the pressure comes to the near side. Player loses his helmet, and Beatty going to be hit back at the 17-yard line. And coming up is Bronx Areola, but a flag going to fly. I think we're going to have a hold and maybe a personal foul down there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I
as Zach Diaz loses the hat. We may wind up with offsetting penalties here, but we'll have to see. So let's see what the Whitecap has to say. It'll be a 2-yard sack if it stands up, and I have a feeling it's going to be like it never even happened. Well, only one flag on, though, and Lovington's moving up, and they're saying 15 yards. We still haven't gotten the signal from the Whitecap.
Right.
He has not signaled what that was for, and it'll be personal foul on Lovington.
Yeah,
it'll be a 15-yarder on Lovington. Now they've got 7 penalties for 60 yards, and it's a 1st down for the Eagles. They're 14th of the ball game. From the 35-yard line, 1st down and 10 for Hobbs. 9:17 to go. Eagles trail by 9. Lovington trying to keep it right there. Flags fly as whistle sounds. Wright had it, and a good misdirection play. Wright had some room to run, but it'll be false start on the Eagles. 105 penalty yards now for Hobbs, and it'll move them back to the 30-yard line. Way too many penalties tonight. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's the 15th penalty for Hobbs.
Yeah, and Lovington with their share as well.
Yeah, Lovington right now with 3, 6, 7 penalties for 60 yards. 3 men across the front for the Wildcats. Twins to the left, twins to the right for the Eagles. Single back in the backfield with Beatty. Waiting on the snap. Gets it. Fakes the handoff, backpedals, throws the little underneath, running back screen. Huge hole up the middle, and bye-bye, as that is going to be right. He's inside the 20 to the 10, down to the 5-yard line before Gutierrez brings him down at the 5. So that is going to be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65 yards to Seamus Wright. The big play to Wright.
And, you know, Hobbs has had
a bunch of big plays tonight.
That's right. It's been the big plays for them that's made the difference for them as far as scoring.
First and goal now from the 5-yard line. 8.5 to go, a 9-point Lovington lead. The big play biting them. They'll hand it to Wright. He goes left side, gets inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Pardon me, that was Kennedy. He'll get 2 yards, and that'll put him over the century mark. He has been quiet in this second half. That's only his second carry in the second half, and it gets him right to 100 yards. So now it'll be second and goal from the 3. Hobbs trying to mount a comeback. 8 minutes remaining in the ball game. Trailed by as much as 17. They've chopped it to 9. Beatty bobbles it and drops it, but the whistle sounded before. We got a false start on the Eagles.
Well,
let's see. Yep, false start on Hobbs.
Every little bit hurts them and helps Lovington.
110 penalty yards, 16 penalties now on Hobbs. They're going to be asking themselves, win or lose this game, what could we have done if we'd have cleaned things up a little bit? So that'll move it back to about the 8-yard line. Hobbs going to shift everybody over. Split backs in the backfield. They'll spin. They'll toss it to Kennedy on the left side. Sweep. Halfback option pass into the end zone. Does he have it? It was complete, but did he stay in? I have
Hobbs
not.
Says they did.
The officials haven't signaled. Did you see who caught it over on that far side?
No.
Yep, they're going to do it. It'll be an 8-yard touchdown. Think that was Chavarria. I'm going to credit it to him.
Too far away and too many men between here and there over just on the far side.
So Chavarria, and the point after is up, and it is good. We got a ball game, 7:31 remaining. It's Lovington 24, Hobbs 22. Back in a minute here on Z94 KZOR and Cool 95.7. An 80-yard drive for the Hobbs Eagles, and it culminates in an 8-yard touchdown pass on a halfback option. Kennedy to Chavarria, and the point after is good. 7:37 remaining. Lovington 24, Hobbs 22. And the kickoff is away, a high end over ender. It'll be fielded back at the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, a little seam to the 30, 35 to the 40, 45, before finally being brought down from behind. Lovington trying to get it back right there as Patrick Sanchez brings it back out to the 47-yard line. Lovington will have good field position. Ron Gunter helping with the tech and running the camera tonight. Dawn Morgan Fieldside. I'm TJ Miracle. Sitting in for Ty Friend on the Hobbs side of things. Sitting in for myself on the Lovington side of things. So it'll be first down and 10 from the 47-yard line. A 2-point Lovington lead. And now the Wildcats with the football. Trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Put it down, fake the handoff, and big pressure. Prudencio gets out of it. Just a little dump pass underneath to Gutierrez. He crosses into Hobbs Eagle territory. He'll have it at the 50 to the 49-yard line. It'll be a 4-yard completion to Gutierrez, and it'll be second down and 6.
Now important for Lovington to answer. They're still up by 2, but they have got to answer, try to kill some of the momentum that Eagles started with that touchdown. And of course the Eagles, well, they're wanting to just keep Lovington right where they are.
Second down and 6. Twins to the right side, single receiver to the left. Low snap handled by Prudencio, and the turf monster is going to get Dallas Cardenas. He's going to drop back down and lose a couple of yards. And so that'll bring up a third down and about 8.5. Call it 9 for the Wildcats. We click down to the halfway mark of this fourth quarter. 6:20 to go in the ball game. Lovington 24, Hobbs 22. Lovington a 17-0 run to start the ball game. And then Hobbs has been battling back ever since. Looks a little bit like last year. Twins to the left, twins to the right. This is going to come down to who can make the plays late. High snap handled. Prudencio with it. A lot of time, goes over, throws it to the left side. Has a man. That's Rivero. He's across the 40. Gets away from a tackle to the 35 and runs out of bounds at the 32-yard line. It's a 17-yard pickup from Prudencio to Rivero and move the chains. First down Wildcats, their 13th of the game.
All right, nice job.
So Rivero making up for the fumble last time he touched the ball and getting the Lovington first down and getting even deeper into Hobbs territory from the 32-yard line. First down and 10 for Lovington. He went out of bounds, so it stops the clock with 5:53 remaining. Twins to the left, twins to the right. Good protection led to Prudencio being able to find the open man. He'll roll to the left side now. Matthew with it, steps up, fires. It's tipped at the line, goes to the back of the end zone. 6 on the board. Touchdown Wildcats. Kyler Reeves, his first catch of the night. Hello, Kyler. 32 yards to the big boy. And Lovington answers and goes back up by 8, 30-22.
Wow. We said Lovington had to answer, and within 2 plays, that's exactly what they did. Put it in the end zone on a couple of beautiful passes with a lot of, you said it, the key was protection, giving Prudencio the time to roll out, find a man, not be rushed, and make that connection.
And they can get this back to a 2-score game with the point after. So waiting for Aranda out of the hold of Pondo. The kick is up. It's a squibbing line driver, but it'll split the uprights good. And with 5 minutes, 43 seconds remaining in the opener of this one, it's Lovington 31, Hobbs 22. Don't miss a minute of it. We're back in a minute on Z94, KZOR, and Cool 95.7. A 32-yard strike from Matthew Prudencio to Kyler Reeves, and the point after is good. And Lovington goes back up by 9. 5:43 remaining in the opener, and the kick from Aranda will go all the way through the back and out of the end zone. 1st and 10 for Hobbs at their own 20-yard line. Thanks for being with us tonight. This one has not disappointed. It's been basically two heavyweights going at it. As Lovington came out and punched Hobbs absolutely in the mouth, the Eagles wobbled, but then they got up off the mat and they promptly punched Lovington right in the mouth. The Wildcats wobbled, and basically they've been looking like Rocky and Apollo in the middle of the ring since then. They're just trading punches, and we'll see who manages to, to be standing at the end.
Yeah.
So Beatty will lead his troops back out as the Eagles trail by 9. 5:43 to go here in the ball game.
Are you saying I'm Burgess Meredith in this analogy?
I don't think so, Adrian.
Okay, all right, well, thank you.
Split backs in the backfield. Beatty with it, looks to the left, pump fake, now comes to the right, wants it all, goes down the center, and he's got a man.
INT.
It's a fight for it. It's an INT as Gutierrez picks it off at the 40-yard line. An ill-advised pass into double coverage. 3rd interception of the night, 5th turnover for Hobbs, and Lovington can taste it.
And that was Gabriel, intended for Gabriel Henry, and he was right there, but wow, what good coverage. So tight, Gutierrez, and then just plucks that ball out of the air away from Gabe Henry.
And Gabe Henry has had a heck of a night.
He has.
6 catches, 79 yards. He has been a spark plug for Hobbs. But the 3rd INT for the night for Brock Beatty, and now Lovington can smell blood in the water.
They need to hang on to the ball here and eat
Burn
some
time, absolutely. Yep. As they give it to Cardenas, we'll have a hold at the line, and we may have a block in the back, or illegal will hit downfield because we've got 2 different flags on the play. So the back judge going to come in and talk to the Whitecap who threw the other flag. We might have offsetters here. I know we've got a hold on the line. We may have a face. Well, I don't know. Coach Bailey's acting like he thinks it's on Hobbs. He's telling his kids to get away from the officials. He said normally when the back judge throws one, you're going to get a clip or a block in the back. You might have a hold, but not usually on a running play. And we'll have holding on Lovington. And we'll have personal foul on Hobbs, and so it'll be offsetting penalties. It'll be like it never even happened, and we'll replay 1st down. So something tells me the jaws are starting to work down there, maybe on both sides.
Yep, and that's got to be something that both teams really have to guard against here.
So the offsetting penalties like it never even happened. 5:28 to go in the ball game. Lovington on their own 40-yard line, trying to run this one out and get out of here with the victory. Twin receivers to the right, one to the left. Hand it to Cardenas, hit in the backfield, gets back to the line, pushes forward, gets a yard, maybe 2. Drags Mackey and Meredith with him. And is going to wind up with a 2-yard gain. Cardenas now with 59 yards on 13 carries. Lovington, though, is doing this just to eat time.
Oh, yeah. Just got to hang on to the ball, eat some clock, and just try to limit Hobbs' possession and Hobbs'
As Hank Stram would say, just matriculate the ball down the field and burn a lot of time while you're at it.
Try to keep Hobbs from having the opportunities to score.
Prudencio comes in from the sideline, will bring the play in himself. They're going to split Rivero out wide to the right. They're going to keep everybody else in tight. Single back in the backfield, good snap. Fake the handoff. Prudencio rolls, tosses, has a man. That's Reeves again at the 45. He is spun down around the 47-yard line. Davis and Davis collide in on him. Big going there. So Reeves has it, and it'll be good for 6. His 2nd catch of the ball game. 244 yards through the air for Matthew Prudencio, and it's an important 3rd down and 3. 4 minutes to go in the ball game.
It's just about clock management and possession right here as Lovington takes their time in between every play.
Yeah, they can afford to. Hobbs is going to have to start thinking about their timeouts at some point. They've still got all 3 of them. Trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Lovington going to take this one all the way down, hand it off. Cardenas, good hole up the middle, crosses the 50, and he'll have the first down.
Nice.
As he takes Davis with him that was Gustavo Diaz-Castro. He's had a heck of a ball game. But Cardenas needed 3.5, is going to wind up with 5, and that'll be the 14th first down for the Wildcats.
They just dared Hobbs. There was no fake handoff about that at all. They almost put the spotlight on it and said, here, I'm going to hand the ball now. Do your best to try to get him, stop him before first down. And, he made it.
So it moves the chains. It puts Lovington in Hobbs territory. First down and 10, and they are going to take every possible second that they can. They get up to the line with 10 seconds remaining on the play clock.
Got to be sure and get that play off and not get the penalty.
Yes, you do. With 4, with 3, they'll get it, and they'll hand it to Cardenas. Comes to the left side, is hit in the backfield, and he is going to be brought down. That was Alec Olguin back in the game. Good to see Alec back. Couldn't turn the Jets on, and he's going to lose 4. Good penetration and good backside pressure coming in from Hobbs on that one. Hector Mendoza.
And now a timeout for Lovington, I believe.
So it'll be a 4-yard loss for Alec, and the timeout will be taken by the Wildcats with 2:46 to go. We'll just keep it right here and say a big thank you to all of our great sponsors. Couldn't do it without them. You see them at the bottom of your screen if you're watching. If you're listening on Z94 or Cool 95.7, you're hearing them. Up next for these 2 squads, it'll be the Lovington Wildcats hitting the road to the scene of their latest state title. Next Friday night, we'll be up at Greyhound Stadium in Portales. Don Morgan and yours truly. 7 o'clock kickoff next Friday from Portales. And for the Hobbs Eagles, they'll get a little home cooking next week as they will welcome in the Artesia Bulldogs. That has become kind of the Labor Day weekend special. Hobbs and Artesia going at each other. Ty Friend will be back alongside Ron Gunter. 6:45 next Friday night from the friendly confines of Watson Stadium. Back here at the friendly confines of Wildcat Stadium and Brian Urlacher Field out of the Lovington timeout. It'll be second down and 14, 2:51 remaining. Lovington leading this one 31-22, looking for their second victory in a row against the Eagles. And I believe they're 3rd in the last 4 years.
I think that timeout was designed to just try to take even more air out of the sails of Hobbs, and also just make sure with under 3 minutes left that Lovington's all on the same page.
Twins right, single receiver to the left. They'll hand it off. Olguin nowhere to go, but he doesn't go down, and he goes even further back down inside the 40, back to the 37-yard line. Ooh, Alec loses 10 yards on the play, and so now it's 3rd down and Tatum.
That's tough. Lovington, there's still time in the clock. I mean, they're 9 up.
And Hobbs takes their first time out. They're going to force Lovington to do some things. We'll just keep it right here in the timeout and say a big thank you to the folks who make Wildcat football possible on Z94 KZOR, the Z94 KZOR app, Lovington Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com. Couldn't do it without Bob's Thriftway, Eastern New Mexico University, Eunice Pump and Supply, Miko Services, Man Welding, Lovington Schools, Devon Energy, Stone Oilfield Services, First American Bank of Lovington, the Miko Companies, Lovington Auto Supply Napa, Master Plumbers, and Lee County Electric Cooperative, and Hobbs football on Cool 95.7, the Cool 95.7 app. Hobbs Sports YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com, First American Bank of Hobbs, Eastern New Mexico University, Eunice Pump and Supply, NMR Pipeline, Miko Services, Hobbs Express, Lasco Construction, Devon Energy, Miko Companies, Divine Energy Services, Master Plumbers, also Lee County State Bank, Forest Tire, and TDS. Ron Gunner helping and keeping an eye on the tech and running the camera tonight. Don Morgan patrolling field side. I'm TJ Miracle from high above Brian Urlacher Field at Wildcat Stadium. Opener for both of these squads tonight, the Battle of Lee County. Out of the timeout, Lovington with 3rd down and Tatum, 3rd and 23. And fake the handoff and just keeping it himself and burning some time is Prudencio. He's going to cross the 40 up to the 42-yard line. It'll be 4 yards on the keeper for Prudencio. And Hobbs is going to have to take their third and final timeout. So Hobbs has burned all their timeouts. They trail by 9. They've got 2.5 minutes to go. Going to be vitally important for Hobbs to try and get the quick strike going, because now they're going to have to get a touchdown. Point afters really don't matter, because if they get a touchdown, then can drive down and get a field goal. That would tie it. But a touchdown, a point after, and then a field goal would win it. But to do that, you're going to have to see the touchdown, I think, first, and then you're going to have to get an onside kick. And, oh boy, this one has been pretty hairy at times, but it has been an entertaining opener to the season. So out of the Eagle timeout, Hobbs out of timeouts, 2:36 remaining. Lovington hanging on to a 9-point lead, and it will be punt time for Lovington. Patrick Sanchez on to punt it away, setting back up around his own 20. I believe that's Chavarria, and the punt, it's a good one. It's a high one. Drives Chavarria back, that is Mora back. Hits it at the 20, 25 to the 30, takes it to the sideline, crosses the 35, out to about the 37-yard line. Good kick, but an even better return.
Yeah, it was a nice kick because not just the distance, but it went high up in the air. A lot of hang time. Again, Lovington trying to take as many seconds off the clock as they can, and Hobbs trying to preserve as many seconds, and they're out of time, outs.
So now you've got to think they're going to go with the hurry-up offense. They need 2 scores of some variety. One of them has to be a touchdown. Play fake. Beatty rolls to the left, and he's going to take it across the 40, up the sideline into Lovington territory, and bumped out of bounds at the 49 inside Lovington territory. It's a 16-yard keeper around the left side for Brock Beatty, and it'll move the chains. First down Hobbs, their 16th first down of the ball game. And
stop the clock.
And it does stop the clock, He got out of bounds, and he got the first down. So from Lovington territory, 49-yard line, Beatty with the single back in the backfield. Has time, now the pressure comes, throws it underneath, and tried to get it to Isaiah Rodriguez, but incomplete. I think Rodriguez hearing Chase Terrell. Maybe hearing some footsteps there.
Yeah, definitely pressure coming from that direction.
So it'll be second down and 10, just inside Wildcat territory. Hobbs needs a touchdown and a field goal to tie it. An extra point on the touchdown would win it. So now second and 10, Beatty. He drops it again, and he's just going to have to go back on it and eat it back in Hobbs territory at the 42-yard line. It's a 9-yard sack. Lovington will get credit for it, as that'll be Kevin Reyes-Padilla, I believe, getting credit. That'll be another sack. And Hobbs going to have to hurry now. It is third down and a long way to go. 3rd and 19. Beatty, pump fake. Steps up in the pocket. No pressure. Now he's going to be pressured. Rolls to the right side. Looks down. Just tucks it. Takes it himself. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and he is brought down from behind by Alex Rivera, but a flag on the play. It'll be a horse collar tackle. I thought it was, and it'll be the horse collar, and that'll tack 15 on to the end. And so 19 yards for Beatty on the keeper.
Kyler Reeves, it was kind of a sandwich there between Reeves and Rivera.
And so the horse collar tackle, they're going to call a face mask on Lovington. And it's the personal foul variety, so that'll be enough for the first down, and it'll keep the Hobbs drive alive, because it'll be from the end of the play, 75 penalty yards on Lovington.
And Hobbs,
unless they're just going to call they're going to call the incidental. No, they're just going to call the incidental. It's not the 15, it's just a 5-er.
Wow. And now they're saying.
And so timeout taken by Lovington with 96 seconds to go. Whew. Boy, oh boy. Let's
been a wild one.
Let's take a deep breath. A 30-second timeout on Cool 95.7 and Z94. Lovington trying to ice the momentum of the Hobbs Eagles as they took advantage of a 19-yard run and then a 5-yard penalty. They've got it third, make that 4th down and 2. Beatty is the quarterback. Hobbs out of timeouts. They trail by 9. Trips left, 1 right. Beatty, good snap. Tosses it over, and that one is going to be tipped at the line. Patrick Sanchez tips it, and that will do it. The incompletion and over on downs to the Lovington Wildcats. Oh, that was 3rd down. They had 4th down on the board. Well, they had 4th down. I looked at the scoreboard, not on the sticks on the pylon. Thank you, Ron Gunner and Dawn Morgan, both pointing that out for me. It's early. We're still working the bugs out of it. So now it'll be 4th down and 2. The game hinges on this with 91 seconds remaining. 4th down and 2. Ball at the 41-yard line inside Wildcat territory. Good snap. Beatty with it. Pressure comes. Steps up in the pocket. Comes near side. Has a man on the near side and run out of bounds inside the 40 at the 38-yard line, 37-yard line. Braddock Beatty. Beatty to Beatty with a 4-yard pitch and catch. 17th first down for Hobbs. So Beatty with his 5th catch of the night for 60 yards.
Gets out of bounds, stops the clock with 1:25 left.
Tick, 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 though. Hobbs is going to have to pretty much play everything to the sidelines unless they go for it all. Beatty looks left, pumps left, throws left just as he's hit, wants it all, goes to the end zone. Picked off at the 5. The Wildcats will seal it. Hopping up and grabbing that one and looking for some running room. 35, 40, 45, and Jaden Gutierrez with another INT, the 6th turnover of the night for Hobbs, and that will seal it. And Lovington will win tonight, their 4th win in the past 6 in this series. And it will be for Coach Bailey the first time he has ever beat Hobbs as a player or a coach on this field.
No, that's 58. That's Valente Herrera.
Valente Herrera. I didn't say who it was yet, Dawn.
Sorry.
Well, Valente Herrera. Joshua Bailey, though, mentioning that this will be if he won, and looks like he is going to with 1:09 to go. The first time that he has ever beaten the Hobbs Eagles on the blue turf here as a player or a coach. So Lovington will take their final time out of the night, and it is victory formation time for Lovington. Hobbs has got to just be shaking their head and going, what could have happened? Too many penalties, too many turnovers, and way too much trouble on the center quarterback exchange. I have a feeling they're going to be working on that a whole heck of a lot, starting probably tomorrow for the Hobbs Eagles. So Lovington can go into victory formation now. Nobody can stop the clock. And the Wildcats coming out in somewhat of a statement tonight by beating a 6A team, saying, all right, maybe we are the number 2 team in Class 5A. Artesia number 1 handily handling Carlsbad tonight, shutting them out in the Battle of Eddy County. But here in the Battle of Lee County, we have had an entertaining one, 31-22. Victory formation time, and I hate writing these darn things down, but you've got to for the sake of things because it really messes with the statistics of the thing. So it'll be Prudencio to lead the squad out, and my guess is victory formation time. Back-to-back years, the Wildcats have knocked off the Eagles in thrilling fashion. Hobbs nothing to hang their hats about and hang their head about. Just too many mistakes they got to clean up. And so victory formation, 1 kneel down. At the end, they'll let this one run all the way down. We should have 1 more kneel down, and that will do it. The interception by Jaden Gutierrez. puts paid to this one, and Lovington will go to 1-0 on the season, heading into a big rivalry game against Portales next week, next Friday. Hobbs at 0-1 against a very tough Artesia team next week, but I think Hobbs can be competitive if they can fix the mistakes. So one more kneel down for Prudencio. Matthew will get it, and he will win his first game as this Lovington Wildcat starter, and that will do it. As the clock ticks down, the Cats are celebrating, but we're going to wait until the clock hits 00 before we call this one. A thrilling victory tonight, 31-22, as the team's going to be out shaking hands right now. So it is a final as the gun sounds, 31-22. Lovington victorious in the Battle of Lee County. We'll be back with your Devon Energy post-game show and your Bob's Thriftway Coaches Conversation. Coming up, Wildcat football continues on KZOR, the Eagle post-game show on Cool 95.7. Welcome to your Devon Energy postgame report on Z94 KZOR and your Hobbs Eagle postgame show on Cool 95.7. I'm TJ Miracle, Don Morgan fieldside, as Coach Josh Bailey celebrating his first win as the Lovington head coach. Quickly, let's look at the numbers in this one. Our final score, Lovington 31, Hobbs 22. So final numbers, we'll start with the Hobbs Eagles as Brock Beatty goes 14-27, 228 yards, 1 touchdown, but 4 interceptions. Hobbs turning the ball over 6 times tonight. His favorite target was actually Didn't get any touchdowns, but Gabriel Henry with 5 catches make that 6 catches for 79 yards. Braddock Beatty, 5 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown. Austin Chavarria, we did confirm it was Chavarria who caught the late touchdown pass from O'Marion Kennedy. He had 3 catches for 32 yards. So totals tonight, 370 total yards for Hobbs, as they had 3. Let's make that 236. 228 coming from Beatty, 8 coming from Kennedy, who had the touchdown pass. O'Marion Kennedy, in addition to a touchdown pass, also broke the century mark, 8 carries for 100 yards tonight. On the other side for Lovington, Matthew Prudencia goes 19 of 25, 2 touchdowns. More importantly, no interceptions and 244 yards. His touchdowns, actually, I'll lie, he had 3 touchdowns. Let me get that corrected. Touchdowns coming to Kyler Reeves, Jaden Gutierrez, and to Cameron Ochoa. Leading rusher tonight, Dallas Cardenas, 14 carries, 64 yards. For Lovington, 244 through the air, 69 cumulatively on the ground, 313 total yards. Lovington winning the penalty battle. They were flagged 8 times for 65 yards. Hobbs, though, 16 penalties for an astounding 112 yards. Lovington winning the turnover battle. Lovington turning it over twice, Hobbs turning it over 6 times. Hobbs did win the first down battle. They had 17 to Lovington's 14, but at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the final on the scoreboard, 31-22. Lovington, they got 17 in the first, blanked in the second and third, and then 14 in the fourth. That got them to their 31. For Hobbs, they were blanked in the first, got a safety in the second, and then they score 13 in the third, and they get 7 in the fourth to get to their 22 on the scoreboard. So Don Morgan will have Coach Joshua Bailey. We appreciate Coach Bailey agreeing to join us for our Bob's Thriftway Coaches Conversation. As the Cats celebrating, going 1-0, I have a feeling Coach Bailey is going to be very, very happy. And I remember him being very happy when he won as a player and as an assistant. Now he gets his first victory as a coach. As going to go talk to some of his other staff here briefly first, and Don Morgan will have him. Of course, next week we will be right back with you. Hobbs and Lovington not playing each other this time, obviously, but we'll talk about that after the Bob's Thriftway Coaches Conversation. Is Coach Bailey getting a big hug from some of the big boys down there who got him his first win as a head coach, and congratulations definitely in order to him, as Coach Ken Stevens has his squad over on the south end zone. That's the Hobbs side of the end zone. You're listening to the Hobbs Eagles on KLEA Hobbs, Cool 95.7, and the Lovington Wildcats on Z94 KZOR Hobbs Lovington. Also available, Hobbs Sports YouTube, Lovington Sports YouTube, and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm TJ Miracle.
I believe Coach is coming back here in just a few. He went to chase a player down. Somebody was getting away, but I think he's coming back, and I believe I'm going to be able to catch him here in just about a minute or so.
Okay, so... Well, I got us legal. Sorry, Don, I didn't see you sprint across the field. You were over there with by where Kyler Reeves was standing out about the 20-yard line. All of a sudden, you're down there. I'm like, whoa, hey, they got to run about a 4.40 to do that. Good job, Don. Is now Bob's Thriftway Coaches Conversation.
Congratulations, Head Coach Josh Bailey, your first victory as a head coach of the Lovington Wildcats. How's it feel?
I'm speechless, and my voice is already gone, so it makes it real hard. These guys, and I kind of said in there, man, we battled through so much tonight, and I couldn't be more proud of them. Like, I love them. They're so resilient. They're just so resilient. I'm proud of them.
Yeah, you told him it's fun. This was fun. This feels good. That's how it's supposed to feel. Thank you. I love you guys. That's what you just told him at the end of that huddle. And, there were times in this game you were not only the head coach, you were the head cheerleader. You were over and asking not only of your players on the field but of the fans in the stands to give it up, to transfer that energy to your players on the field.
And they did it, Don. Somebody asked me, if you're going to be the head coach, you're still going to be over there trying to get us going. And I said, heck yeah, that's how I coach. And we play for them. That's why we're out here. We play for them. And so I want them to be a part of it with us. We couldn't have done it tonight without them.
Well, what do you say about your crew getting the job done, getting out here? They came out with their hair on fire, got on the board, and then they dug in. They had to really, take punishment. You told your guys it was a battle out there, and they got kind of beaten up, banged up, and but they held on to it, and then offensively they caught fire again at the end. It was kind of like TJ said, it was like heavyweights slugging.
Yeah, that's a good football team, Dawn. They're really well coached, and they've got some great talent. And we knew they said it. Coach Stevens said it all week that they're a little young, and I know they're going to figure it out. That's going to be an even better football team. And so I knew it was going to be tough the whole game. I felt like we were going to come out strong. And to hold on is what I just hold on, and they did it. And honestly, not just hold on, exactly what you said, TJ said, they just kept on. We laid some haymakers at the end, and I'm really, really proud of them. Really
all right.
proud of them.
So enough celebrating, although not really. You deserve celebrating tonight. But got to take your attention to next Friday on the road to play at Portales. Man, there's not an easy game on your schedule this season.
No, ma'am. I mean, we played Portales for the state championship last year. They are a championship caliber football team, and they're well coached, and they've got some great athletes. I mean, and they know us, and we know them, and that makes it tough. And I mean, we've kind of had their number a little bit for a while, but none of that matters anymore. Just this season is what matters. And so, I mean, if we don't turn the page and go to work, we'll get beat next week. And
had some penalties, some areas you want to clean up for the game next week. In addition to that, what? Yes,
ma'am. Always a little sloppier than you want, I think, in the first game of the season. But I think that overall it's fixable. And the things that we kind of messed up, we're going to fix them. And these guys want to be better. They take great pride in preparation. Our huddle time is amazing. I love them. They're freaking on their huddle every night. It's pretty cool. And so they want to get better, and they will. We will.
And you've got some new coaches on staff with you as well. Want to mention anything or talk about that?
Absolutely. That defense tonight played great. And first-time defense coordinator Josh Faith is in charge of that unit, and he did a great job. And my offensive line, they did such a good job. And the offensive line coach is Pecos Fort. Got some new guys. Coach Brooke Quinones was upstairs, got him back from Hobbs, so got him over here, and he did a great job talking to us down on the field. Bam DeChesro is the guy that we got. He's new, and he was our signaler all night long. Came in, and now he's just the signaler, and he did such a great job. That's a lot of pressure. It's a whole lot of pressure. And then we've got some dudes that are Lovington guys, blue bloods through and through, Alex Ochoa and Fabian Contreras, and they are glue. They hold us together on the sideline the whole time, special teams dudes, back in guys, and just, I mean, we are super, super lucky to have the guys that we have.
And what about Prudencio? Looking like he's been quarterback of this team for 3 years.
Yes, ma'am. I believed that he could do that. I knew he could. I had faith that he could. We've been really blessed in the last 5 years. We've started a senior 4 of the last 5 years. And so it keeps on happening where a guy kind of comes from nowhere, nobody knows him, but we know him, and their teammates know him, and they know they're going to play well. And so there's all the faith in the world in Matthew.
That's the key tonight. You really played like a team. You didn't play like a team first game. Really, I mean, you mentioned there are always some weaknesses, some roughness, but you didn't play like a team first game. The team played like a team, like they were mid-season team,
Yes, ma'am, I do. This team has had a close relationship since day one. I mean, this entire summer, we've talked nothing about just pouring in, being fearless enough to love each other hard and be fearless enough to do the right thing. And we've challenged them so hard to be different than everybody else, because not very many people are doing things the right way all the time. And so those guys, they've bought in, and they've poured in blood, sweat, and tears together this summer. And that's a team. I love the team. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Paid off big for you tonight. Again, congratulations. First game, first win. Moving on. We'll be there next Friday night. Good luck in Portales.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you.
Thank you for your time. We appreciate
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Don Morgan, with our Bob's Thriftway Coaches conversation. We'll take a 1-minute timeout, come back, and wrap it up as your Devon Energy postgame report and Hobbs Eagle postgame show continue on Cool 95.7 and Z94 KZOR. And welcome back to your Devon Energy postgame report and your Hobbs Eagle postgame show as the Wildcats victorious tonight, a 9-point victory, 31-22. So what can you say about this one? An exciting win for Lovington, but hey, first game, a young team for Hobbs, a lot to build on. Next Friday night, the Hobbs Eagles will have their home opener against the Artesia Bulldogs, who got a big win tonight. Ty Friend will be back in the cool 95.7 booth. Thanks for putting up with me in Ty's place tonight. Ty had some family stuff going on, and appreciate getting to fill in for him. And Ron Gunner will be back in the color role next week as the Eagles and the Bulldogs match it up at Watson Stadium. Don Morgan and yours truly on Z94 will be heading over to Portales for the site of state championship, officially number 20, but I still say it's 21, where they won that last November and going to look to go to 2-0 against the Portales Rams and move on through the season. So Z94 next Friday night, 7 o'clock, about 6:40 for your pregame show, for your Stone Oilfield Services pregame show on Z94 KZOR, Lovington at Portales. For Hobbs, about 6:45 for your Hobbs Eagle pregame show with Ty and Ron. And with that, my friends, we will put a wrap on this one. It was two heavyweights going at each other tonight, and the heavyweights in blue getting the victory. Our final again, 31-22. For Tiff and Evie, and Manny V back in studio engineering and producing. For Ron Gunner helping on the tech and the camera tonight. For Don Morgan patrolling fieldside, I'm TJ Miracle saying so long, and thank you for listening to the Lovington Wildcats and the Hobbs Eagles. This has been an exclusive presentation of Walmart Digital and One Radio Square Sports. Good night, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend.